Testing 1 2. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. We live. We are live on Sonetta Studios.
And we are live on More Heritage TV.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Okay, let's give it a minute. Let the people come in so they know we here.
Please, y'all, come, share, like, subscribe. Let your friends know we here. We're going to do a little spanking again. It's going to be the second spank. Y'all make sure y'all check out Planet Spanking too. He went over there and spanking them youngins.
All right, that's what's up right there. Let me get this out the way, and we're gonna go.
We're gonna go.
You know how it is when Sonetta Studios come on. Sonetta Studios. Sonetta Studios. Love, open your third eye and download this. Sonetta Studios on. Now we gotta get it on the couch alive on 125th worldwide. Entertainment with scholarship, black power conglomerate. That's how we pay homage and show love to the ancestors. Original man blessed it, so you can't test it. It's more than hood politics. Sonetta Studios will help you wake up your mind again. Know you got time to spend. Been watching BS, so tune in to the best. Hardest working, don't need rest. Just trying to be next, push the revolution, push this information, help you with the solutions. The new millennium's Gil Noble is still rolling, and won't stop until the pineal glands are frozen. And know that this ain't his story, it's ours, but they'll know when they hear peace and black power. Black power.
Now look here.
Hold that up.
Here you got Sonetta TV, right? The mic, the cord of the mic goes into the shen of my
Now
heart.
that's in gold.
Yeah, this is in gold. That's right.
Gold and silver.
Yes, sir.
Man.
You see, since the feather, the microphone is plugged into the shen of ma'at. They call it a cartouche, but it's a shen of ma'at, which means when you speak into this mic, you got to be speaking truth.
Oh, yes.
Okay? And here's the jet column symbolizing stability, uprightness. Okay? That's a sign of a saw, the backbone. So you have an ability to stand erect. Okay?
Yes.
And this is known as a sa, sign of eternity. That's where we put the name in here. The jet is inside the temple. Okay?
Oh, man.
And this is not just empty in the back.
I see.
We got the sunrise back there, brother. Okay?
Woo!
And the chain from which it hangs are the links of Ma'at and Ankh, which means you're living in truth.
Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another Sonetta Studios. You already know I got my brother Dr. Alim Bey in the building, and you already know there are little attacks from these little neophytes. We can't have that. You see what the topic is. Was young Pharaoh right about Bobby Hemmitt? Who is Lucifer? And what is the Baphomet rebuttal to young Pharaoh? So this is not out of malicious. This is just to get our young people right. Is nobody banging. This is not about banging on nobody and stuff like that. So that's why we asked the question, was young Pharaoh right? You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people like to think that you're banging when you challenge or rebuttal the information. And we are coming at you with no malice in our heart, with nothing like that, just to set the record straight. And by the way, whenever Bobby Hemmitt spoke, y'all, you know he always brought books. He showed you the information. He told you where you can go and look it up at. Am I right or wrong? Y'all know I'm not lying. This is what why you think I'm loading up Bobby Hemmitt? I think I must have loaded up maybe 4 Bobby Hemmitt videos that I got in my crate that I'm digging in the crate, and I got so much more with Bobby at my house. I remember, I think I had Bobby, you, brother Alim, at one time together at the house, right? You remember that? Yeah. So
Black Dot, Azariah.
That's right. There you go. So I know I had all you brothers at one time at the house where we was building and going in. So that's all. We just want to clear our brother name because he can't speak for himself powerful like we know he can right now. Because if he was here, believe me, man, he would have killed the career of these young neophytes. You know that. So without any further ado, I bring to you my brother, your brother, Brother Alim Bey, and his beautiful and lovely wife, Sister Khadijah, right there on the side. Look at her. Go ahead, Brother Alim. Talk to me.
All right, peace. Yeah, y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. We're gonna be getting it in tonight. And some of the slides, let's say we're just gonna do summaries. All right, but we're gonna have to get it all in because there's a lot of information. We got about 2 hours. And so we're going to get as much information in. If y'all seen the last one, which was called Fire, it was originally called The Mysteries of Lucifer, Satan. All right. So we're getting ready to do another one. This is Fire number 2, TOO. So we're going to begin. Let's get the slides going.
Okay. You want to go right to the slides first? Or first, I would like to ask you, let me just ask you this first, brother. I know you ready to go in, man. Look at you. You ready to go in. Well, let me ask you first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you think people, when you talk about Lucifer, what is so scary about Lucifer? A lot of the people got it wrong when they say Lucifer is the devil. Talk about that for a minute first, brother.
All right. So let's look at this from a metaphysical aspect or perspective. All right, so let's look at the root chakra. The root chakra is the color red, which is the slowest vibratory of the spectrum colors. You have what is called Roy G. Biv: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Those are the 7 colors, right, of the spectrum. Well, the slowest is red. So that means that red root base chakra is what brought your physical body into materialization. So hence, that is what we refer to as the devil. All right, because the devil is the color red. He has a red pitchfork. He has red horns. He has a red tail. That's what they told you. That's the image that they gave you, right? He comes in red. All of that is talking about the root or base chakra. That's your ego. Now you need your ego in order to survive within the physical realm. That is attached to the reptilian portion of the brain, which is known for fight and flight. All right, so that is the devil. Lucifer is what dwells inside of the root or base chakra, which is known as the angle of light, which is rooted within the sacral bone tail area, which is a downward triangular shaped area, which is right above the crack of your ass. That is Kundalini. That is the Archangel Uriel. And as the Kundalini moves from out of the root chakra, it can ascend once again back into the heaven, which is back to your crown chakra. All right, that is what it metaphysically is talking about. All this Christian mentality, this type of mentality that you grew up with is not it. It don't have the complete science. It has you looking at it as from a fairy tale perspective. You know, fables. You know, and you can't explain the metaphors. Remember, Jesus spoke in parables, so that means allegories. So that means you're supposed to be decoding this allegorically. You know, but you can't do that if you're looking at it as if it's a historical or if it's some type of literal, you know, storyline that you're following. It's no better than you following a TV series, which states specifically that is not based on any real characters. It's something that they made up. but it's so real, you get caught up into it. Well, that's the same thing that happened with the Bible and its interpretation. People have taken the literal meaning of it instead of looking at it from its allegorical meaning. And that's the problem, sir.
Okay, all right. Now the Baphomet, and then we're going to go into your slides, brother, and the powerful presentation you put together. And talk about the Baphomet. When people see that, they also associate evil with it. They associate masonry with it. Talk about that. What is that, brother? The Baphomet.
Well, number one, Eliphaz Levi was the one who made the Baphomet symbol that we now know of. All right. Now, Eliphaz Levi was the head of the Rosicrucian. All right. So it was a Rosicrucian image. And the image of Baphomet symbolizes as above and so below. That's the why his finger is up pointing towards the sky, and the other one is pointing down below. So as above, so below. Hence, as within, so without. All right. So Baphomet symbolism is based off of ancient Egypt. It was called the goat of Mendes. All right. So yes, that's it. That was the goat of Mendes, which symbolizes the constellation or the zodiac sign Capricorn. It symbolizes the zodiac sign Capricorn. That's why Capricorn's symbol to this day is a goat. All right. So is a goat evil? Is Capricorn, which is a zodiac sign or constellation, star constellation sign, evil?
Now look at the middle. Look at his stomach. You see the what is that representing right there? Look at the stomach, brother.
That symbolizes where most people are trapped at the first and second chakra, which deals with lust and greed. That's where most people are trapped at. The majority of people on planet Earth is trapped there. Materialism, sex, greed, which is hunger or food. That's why you see the Kundalini coming up through the first and the second chakra.
The Hebrews have a 6-pointed star or a 5-pointed star?
6-pointed star.
Okay, yeah, I think the Hebrews got a 6-pointed. So this is a 5-point, so I ain't even got to ask you that question. What does the star represent in the middle of his head? Like right in the middle, what does that pose to symbolize or represent?
That's the pineal gland area in which that symbolizes ascending energy. So when you see the bottom of the Kundalini going through the first and second chakra, it's supposed to go all the way up to that area, which is to illuminate the pineal gland, which is the same as the star that you put up on your Christmas tree on Christmas, which was just a month ago. It wasn't even a whole month ago. That star symbolizes the star Sirius, which symbolizes also the activation of the pineal gland, which I get into.
All right, my brother, are you ready to go in?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Share your screen. Let's get it in, my beloved. Let's get it in. This is going to be powerful right here.
All right.
Khadija, when you gonna give your lecture? When you gonna do your joint?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, y'all don't tell me you forgot how to. There you go. Share the screen and let's go. Let's get it.
Okay, there you go. You see it?
I see it. I got it, and I'm making it the screen for y'all.
So this explains the reason why. The mentality of the people. So it says the reason why certain religions teach that yoga and meditation are demonic or satanic is because of what happened hundreds of years ago. When the British invaded India, they had trouble controlling the population who were very in tune with their bodies. And due to dedicated ancient yoga and meditation practices, many Indians had developed siddhas, which is basically a cities, which is special abilities, which is levitation, telekinesis, psychic and shamanistic powers. And so this is why the control system had the church to teach that yoga and meditation are evil, to try and stop others from developing their innate human abilities, which threaten their control. So this is the real reason why we have the misunderstanding that everything is demonic and satanic. You know, one second we say that the Jews made the Bible, which of course is false. You know, the Jewish, I should say, they did not make the Bible. All right, we know that the images within the scriptures are still melanated people. You know, Solomon is said to have been black as curtains. It says that Jesus had hair like lamb's wool. He was made of bronze, burnt in a furnace. So we know that melanated people put that information together, but we'll get to that in a second. But here we understand that the head area is the heaven. In particular, the 6 and 7 chakra symbolizes the heaven. Your heaven, your personal heaven. The heart symbolizes the earth. And hell is symbolized as the root or base chakra. Matthew 6:9, it says, do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. So then this is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So that symbolizes right here. The heart is the earth, the heaven is the mind. All right. And this is talking about how you combine both of them, because we talk about the chakra system. See, when you read the book of Ezekiel 1:19, it speaks about when the living creatures went, the will went by them. And when the living creatures was lifted up from the earth, the will were lifted up. The wills is talking about your chakras. In Sanskrit, the word chakra means wills. And each will is an energy center or a spinning vortex located down the center of your body. All right. So in the ancient Kemetic teachings, where the Indians, which is known as the Dravidians and the pre-Dravidians, known as the Tamil people, where they received their information from, they got it from out of the same place as the Ethiopians and the Egyptians, before they were Ethiopians, or the Abyssinian people known as the Cushites, biblically. And they referred to the chakras as Disu. They called it Disu. The 7 Disus are the 7 magical knots up the spine that protects the individual. This is a Kamal origin of the Indo-Cushitic Sanskrit derivative regarding to the 7 chakras, along with the Sushumna, which is the spine, being akin to the knots on the bamboo rod. Right? This is the reason why it tells you about thy rod and thy staff, thou comfort me. All right. So then it goes into the fact that they are called the 7 souls of Ra. Right? Even the Quran speaks about it. Right? Which informs that the witch is blowing on the knots, which is talking about messing with an individual's chakra system, messing with their energies. And see, in the Taoist teachings, they tell you the same thing. See, this is where we going from Africa teachings, from Indo-Kush teachings, which is Hindustan or India teachings, into the Taoist teachings, and they all say the same thing. Here it is that the head, which is called the Dantian Center, is also called the Crystal Palace. That's the upper. Then you have the heart center, which is called the middle dantian. Then you have the lower dantian, which is known as the abdominal dantian. These are your energy centers. These are the three minds in one mind. All right? At the lower dantian, and it keeps it spiraling and expands the awareness of the primordial force. And you charge by the universe. The dantian, which are your chakras or your endocrine glands, are charged like batteries or can be charged like a battery. So we've been teaching over the years how to charge your battery. All right? You can place your hands over your lower dantian, which is below your navel, and you can breathe in and hold it and then visualize the golden ball glowing within your lower dantian, and then breathe out. And as you breathe out, it becomes brighter and brighter. And you can do this for about 10 minutes, ideally. But this all correlates to your endocrine glands, your pineal gland, your pituitary gland, your thyroid gland, parathyroid glands, your thymus glands, your adrenal glands, your pancreas, your ovaries, and within the woman and testes. You know, with the woman, it also is the uterus, and the male is also the pancreas, the prostate gland. Right, and they're all controlled by various nerves in the body that when you look at the body, it looks like a tree. Right? It looks like a tree. All right, so this is where we have to realize that when we talk about your spinal column within the ancient Kemetic teachings, it is known as your Djed, pillar, which is known as the backbone of Osiris, which symbolizes firmness, stability, and strength. All right? And Osiris symbolizes the backbone, which symbolizes that rising or resurrection. That's the Djed pillar. And so when you go into Star Wars, you find that the Djed becomes the Jedi, which is a form of Jehuti, the Grand Master of the initiation. And so the Djed, which is the Jedi name, is the individual who have the lifesaver. And the individual with the various lifesaver had those various colors that we spoke of, Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. All right, so the spinal column also symbolizes the 33 vertebrae, which is Jacob's ladder. And as the Christ, which is the cerebral spinal fluid, climbs up the 33 vertebrae, because remember, Jesus died at the age of 33, he meets the 12 cranial nerves, which is symbolic to the 12 disciples, and it ignites the pineal gland, which is your resurrection. All right? So, even in the book of Revelations, the 5th chapter, the first verse, it says, "And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within." It says a book written within. What book is written within you? It's your DNA. And then it says on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. The 7 seals are your 7 chakras. Even here, it says that the DNA has DNA backbone, which once again symbolizes the same elliptical pattern.
What did you just do? Because now I hear echo in yours. Did you turn on something or anything?
No, we've been hearing echo.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. Continue. My bad.
All right, so DNA backbone symbolizes the same as the Osirian or Osiru backbone, which is that elliptical pattern. The same elliptical pattern of the serpent going up the back, which is Kundalini, is the same within your DNA. All right, we know within that Jesus died at the age of 33. Well, we told you about the Scottish rites. The last time that was with Sinetta, that it has 33, which is an honorary degree within the Scottish rite. and it's the Sovereign Grand Inspector General. Now, if you go to the York Rite, if you count from the Inter-Apprentice, Fellow Craftsman, and Master Mason, which is the blue house, it symbolizes the 7. You count up from Mark, Master, Past Master, Most Excellent Master, Royal Mason, Order of the Red Cross, Order of the Knights of Malta, and the Order of the Knights Templars. Those are 7, which symbolizes the 7 chakras. Now, I'm going over this because we have to explain, what's really going on. All right, so we got the 4 Gospels, esoterically interpreted by John P. Scott. He says this: enter ye into the straight gate, for the wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there which go in thread. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that finds it. The straight gate, check this out now, is the spinal cord, with a small entry and narrow road, or way through which the life force may be raised to illuminate the being. So the straight gate is the spinal cord. Within Islam, they call it the Siratal Mustaqim, the straight path. And it says, Adinas at Siratal Mustaqim, Siratal Adinas and Anta Alayhim, Garu Magdubi Alayhim, Walet Dolin. Show us the straight path, the path of those who bestow favor upon, not anger upon, and nor of those who go astray. So for those that want to be on the straight path, the straight and narrow path, then you must raise Kundalini through the straight gate. See, this is esoteric. This is what we're talking about. This is why you have the symbol of the caduceus. All right, the caduceus was also called the rod of Hermes, which is Tahuti. All right, Psalms 23:4. Thy rod and thy staff, thou comfort me. The rod and staff are symbolic to the spinal column. The rod means the power and the staff, defense. The shepherd rod as a staff, right? Shepherds slay the wild animals that attacks the sheep. The quick staff is used for helping sheep, that fall into the pits. Right? So that's what we're looking at. Revelation 11:1, it says 2 witnesses. Then I was given a measure rod like a staff, and was told, go and measure the temple of God and thy altar, and count the numbers of the worshipers there. See, you're looking at things with Christian eyes because they have not been trained to look at it esoterically. They've been trained to look at it historically, literally, which is exoteric, surfacely. So they didn't know that the rod, like a staff, was symbolic to a spinal column. So hence you go and measure it, which is 33 degrees, which is the temple of God. And the altar is the mind. And count the number of worshipers there. In other words, count the amount of people who have actually reached that level of understanding. Here it is. See, you've been taught to look at the Albion. You go white Jesus, pale Jesus to the left. And see, this is the picture that you grew up with. But God damn it, the Egyptians had a picture. And as you see, he has his rod and his staff, which symbolize once again the spinal column. Thy rod and thy staff shall comfort me. See, in Taoism, that symbolizes the Kundalini energy going through the governing vessel and the conceptual vessel, which symbolizes the staff and the rod that creates balance, and your tongue up at the roof of your mouth symbolizes that constant flow of that serpentine fire through your body. See, the spirit travels, which is the Kundalini, travels up the straight and narrow path as it unlocks the 7 seals to liberate the soul from all things programmed. This is how I know a nigga is still programmed, is because I can hear the mentality of it through his vocals. here it is. The indigenous, the caduceus in the body, not on a hospital. See, we've been looking at the symbol of healing on the hospital, but not realizing that the same symbol that's on the hospital is really meant to be within us. This symbolizes the Ida and the Pingala, and the middle pillar symbolizes the Shoshone channel, in which that promotes that balance, in which that raises Kundalini. It's all throughout your Bible. Moses was told by God to make an image of the bronze snake upon a staff. Well, that comes from the symbol of Imhotep. The symbol of the caduceus is associated with Imhotep, which is called the son of Ptah, who was known as the father of medicine. The symbol, this symbol of caduceus symbolizes healing, health, and wisdom. Remember, the Lord said unto Moses, make a fiery serpent and set it up on standard. And it came about that everyone who is bitten, which is looked upon it, he will live. And Moses made a bronze serpent and set it up on the standard. And it came about that it was a snake or serpent bit any man. When he looked upon the bronze serpent, he will live. So just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, Jesus said, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. And whomever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. This is John, the book of John. So what is that talking about? That's talking about the Kundalini and serpentine fire. See, Negroes who was born before, after 1977 might not know about Earth, Wind, and Fire, about the All in All album, in which that spoke about specifically the serpentine fire. All right. So the same way that you have the 7 chakras or 7 visuts or ritus or shinkaras, where the word chakra come from the ancient Kemetic Sumerian teachings or Metu Neter, we find that the gross material level is composed of 7 hatus or the hatus. And it's flesh, bone, clay, blood, fat, marrow, and fluids. And that's how you came into physical form. Your chakras had a second level from what is known as the monogenetic or morphogenetic, it's called a monad, in which they created the morphogenetic body into existence from a spiritual, ethereal body into a physical body. All right, it used the elements, and the 5 elements that was used, of course, is earth, water, fire, and air, and akasha, which is called ether, the void of space. All right, so this is what we have to look at. All right, so the Kundalini is innate for all people, but at the base of the spine, subtler than the physical body, lies the Kundalini energy or spiritual energy. In a latent form, regardless of which religious, spiritual or meditation tradition one follows, or awakening of this energy, by whatever name you call it, is the most innate and essential part of spiritual advancement, unfoldment, or realization. Case closed. That's just what it is. And here it is, as the serpent goes up the spinal column into the 3rd ventricle, which is into the pineal gland, you get the serpent in heaven, or the serpent in the rainbow of the 7 chakras. The same colors in your body that correlates to the endocrine gland system, which are your chakras, correlate to the fact that the serpent, which is the snake, in the rainbow. So here we have that You have the ancient Egyptians with the red dot, which symbolizes the sun. And you have the Indian or Indo-Kushite people who wears the red dot to this day, called the Bindi stone. All right, and that symbolizes the activation of the pineal gland where the serpent is at. In India, the seer and the sages were called the Nagas, niggas, meaning the wise serpents. By raising the seed of light, which is Kundalini, through the 33 spinal nerves and 33 vertebrae, and unfolding the third eye through the 12 cranial nerves, one obtained wisdom and spiritual powers. This is what we're talking about. Credo Mutua called it the Umbalini, a primal force used by the Zulu shamans to connect their minds with deities in the spirit realm. Described as something like a hot cold snake bursting through the top of your head. This is what Credo Mutua says. The Caduceus, as we know, is also called the Uraeus, or the serpent crown, which is shown on the Egyptians and the Nubian royalty known as the Nagas or the Nagas. Among many indigenous African cultures, the Uraeus is a symbol of wisdom, power, and protection, once again. So we know what Zechariah Sitchin says. He says that the Anunnakis were a race of reptilians that came down from outer space into Samaria and made the Lulu, or the human beings, in order to mine gold for them. Well, what happened? We find that Anu means on high, and Nagi, which means serpent. So it's the serpent on high. That is the serpent on high, which you see right here. There it is. That's the serpent on high. That's the Anunnaki. All right? That's the Anunnaki. Here we are. We're showing it right here. You have the serpent with the feet, with the legs, and the arms, known as Sata. You have Apis, which is right there in the middle. And then you have the Nubian royalty, the Egyptian or Sumerian royalty right there. And he got his what? His rod and now staff. Now comfort me. God damn it. We got to get it. So right here, we're looking at Ra, and he's sending his rays upon the pineal gland, as you see here being activated. Direct cosmic energy, that sunlight, that breath, that cosmic energy, that electromagnetic energy, give you that full spectrum of energy assimilation, which strengthens your auric field, which makes you a light vampire. All right, so there are still many who are conscious now, and any melanate that applies the teachings of the Kundalini yoga or Tantra Kriya yoga, Reiki, pranic energy healing, Qigong, Tai Chi, Aikido, Wing Chun, you practicing light teachings. You are a light vampire. In other words, you absorb energy from prana, from the sun, from the air, from your environment, such as the trees, the water, earth, air, water, and fire, and Akasha, the elements again. That's the difference between a light vampire, which is a pranic intaker, and a psychic vampire, which is a pranic drainer. Oftentimes, you know, you've been around people who drain your damn energy. Them a goddamn psychic vampires that's been sicked on your ass. And you wake up drained and shit that morning just being around them. So see, serpents or snakes have always been a symbol of knowledge and wisdom. The same motif of a talking snake or serpent connects with knowledge and wisdom was also found in the book of Genesis in the Bible. It's on the walls of Egypt. This is the flying serpent that we just seen. We see it. Here go the flying serpent. He flew up. The Kundalini is no longer at the base of the spine. It is flown. It is now gone up into the sky. The flying serpent. You find that symbol on the walls of Egypt. You go to Mexico. You find it with the Olmecs, the Mayans, and the Aztecs. It's Quetzalcoatl. known as the plumed serpent, the plumed feathered serpent. The Uraeus means to rise up, to climb, to rise up the spine, which is what? Jacob's ladder. And there it is, right at the top. So see, the serpent used to dwell at the sixth chakra, which is your pituitary gland, which is also known as your third eye. So this is now when you get into the dictionary of angels, including the fallen angels. This is by Gustav Davidson. He says this: Uriel means the fire of God, one of the leading angels. All right, we're gonna come on down. Like I said, I'm not gonna read everything because we got to get through it. He was one of the cherubim. Right, he was identified as one of the angels who helped bury Adam and Abel in paradise. All right, as the dark angel, he wrestled with Jacob at Peniel. Remember, Peniel is the pineal gland. And Jacob symbolized the supplanter, which is your lower self. And this angel wrestled with Jacob and hit him in his thigh and made him raise up to ascend, and hence changed Jacob's name to Israel, which means to ascend to God. This is metaphysical. This is dealing with the occult teaching. And then, if you notice, it says something very important. It says Uriel also was over hell. Here it is. It says cherubim, seraphim, cherubim, region of sun, flame of God, angel of the presence, Poseidon over Tartarus, which is Hades, the angel of salvation. Now hold up, Hades is hell. All right, we can go here. In English, usage for Hades first appeared 1600 years ago as a transliteration of the Greek word, right? In which that it says he descends into hell. So hold up, Uriel is the gatekeeper over hell, and he's an archangel of God. Matter of fact, it says Uriel is regarded as the keeper of beauty and light, just like Lucifer was called the most beautifulest angel in the world. It says Uriel also means El, or God is my light, one of the archangels. See, his original position was at the pineal gland because it's at the pituitary gland, because he symbolized the serpent at the third eye. That was his original seat as Uriel. However, Uriel wanted to be greater than Michael, which means Michael means he who dares to be like God, which symbolizes the crown chakra. But he couldn't hold that seat. Michael got that down pat. So what happened was that the serpent, which was there at the third eye, had to fall. And the Kundalini fell from the third eye level down into the bow, where it now sits, which is known as the sacral bone area, which is right above the crack of your ass, the root or base chakra. In the book of Isaiah, you want to know where the evil comes from? It says 45:7. It says, God, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So you've been blaming Lucifer. You've been blaming the devil. But God damn it, the Lord said he does that. And it's right in your Bible.
Good point, brother. Good point.
Right in your Bible. So right here, who's Lucifer? That's Uriel. Wait, Lucifer is the Latin name of Uriel, which is the Hebrew name. And what it says, Lucifer was Latin name for the planet Venus as the morning star in the ancient Roman era. The morning star, which is Venus? You telling me niggas that you scared of a goddamn planet? You scared of a planet?
Yeah, go ahead in, brother. Go in.
Hold on. It says the story of Lucifer, his origin. What is the origin? It says to find the origin of Lucifer, we must turn to the Old Testament in the Hebrew, the name Lucifer is translated from the Hebrew, which means halal, which means brightness.
Bring it out. Bring it out, Alim.
This designation refers to Lucifer and is rendered as the morning star or the star of the morning or bright star, which is presented in Isaiah. How ye have fallen from heaven, O day star, son of dawn, how you are cut down to the ground. You have laid the nations low. You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit on the mount of the assembly of the heights of Sephron. I have ascended to the top of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But remember, we just told you that the crown chakra is the highest within your body as far as that's concerned, as well as also you have chakra outside of your body, which feeds into your energetic body, which I won't get into that, but in the physical body, the highest is the crown chakra, and that is the seat of Michael. That's the seat of Michael. All right, so here we have that Jesus said, my angels to testify you about these things that for the church, I am the root and the descendant of David, the bright and morning star. So Jesus said that he was a morning star too. So not just Lucifer, but Jesus too. The angels was called morning stars in Job 38:6-7. All right, so we know that the morning star that is attached to Lucifer, which is Uriel, which means the fire of God, is Venus, and Venus symbolizes love, which is the heart chakra. Uh-oh. You don't believe me? Here is the images of the Khufu, or Cheops as it's called, which is the largest pyramid on the Giza Plateau, in which they have shafts or chambers in which that points towards particular constellations. And as you see on the left, you see Isis, which is Canaan's major, which is Sirius, the great provider. All right. You see Osiris, which is Orion, which means heaven. Uranus, which means once and future king, is point towards those three stars that points towards the star Sirius, which is symbolic to or Set or Isis, which is Sirius A. And then you have to the right Ursa Minor, Polaris, which is the North Star, and Ursa Major, which is the Small Dipper, or Little Dipper, and the Big Dipper. And also Draco and Thuban. Thuban used to be the North Star, but it was moved to Polaris, which is now the North Star, which is one of the brightest stars in the sky, but it's not as bright as Sirius. So we find the teachings in Mantak Chia, and he speaks about this, that you can feel the universal forces of the North Star and the Big Dipper above your head, and the cosmic particle forces in front of you as they shine down to your pearl. Feel your pearl start to absorb this energy and then feel it expand. This is what Mantak Chia says. He says that the thalamus and the hypothalamus, these points are also associated with what? The Big Dipper. All right, this is what he says. However, he fails to mention that the ancient Egyptians focus on the star Sirius.
You going in now, Alim. You going in now.
Oh yeah. So right here, he shows you that the ancient Egyptians says that they attuned themselves, and what we're supposed to be attuned ourselves to is with the cosmic energy of Septu, which is septic, which is Sirius. As you see here, this is off the walls of ancient Kemet, Temeria, and you see this bright and morning star, which is also, this star comes up 2 minutes right before, right? This is another bright and morning star that comes up 2 minutes right before the sun does, right? During the 100 days of the, it says the 100 days of the dog star, or the dog, which is during the time of June 23rd, going into September. There's 100 days in which that symbolizes the dog days, as they call them. They call them that is talking about the days of Sirius as it comes up. All right. And so we find that the star power energy show entrance through the forehead of the mummified or the mummy form of Osiris, which is talking about the archetype of all humans, which is talking about melanated people. The word star also means door. It also means walking. All right. So passing through a star door, in other words, a stargate, a portal. The winged soul shown under this glyph in the figure indicates that it was the soul's passage through these doors that effected the Osirian transformation and metamorphosis into the immortal state in his glorified body. So we find that in Freemasonry, it is taught that the blazing star, which is the star Sirius, is a symbol of deity or omnipresence. The Creator is present everywhere and the omniscient. The Creator sees and knows all. And Sirius is therefore the sacred place all Masons must ascend to. All melanated people must ascend to. It's the source of divine power and the destination of divine individuals. The concept is often represented in Masonic art. Sirius is the blazing star. That's the pathway in which that shows you the Queen's Chamber, which is the eye star, which is Isis or Sirius or Set. That's the doorway. The door, which is lucid dreams, it shifts to the back of the head where this area is. So it's talking about being able to lucid dream. All right. When you want a shift of one's consciousness, you can shift towards beyond the top of one's head, whereby one spirit can fly, which is Horus, or Heru, which is the hawk, which give you out-of-body experiences. That's towards the front of the head, which is towards the frontal lobe area. But at the back of the head is where you have the lucid dreams at, which is the doorway towards Sirius. All right? The Egyptians show you this with this serpent on top of the head, as you see here. The serpent displayed on the crown of the pharaohs. The real pharaohs indicate the awakened Uraeus, the spiraling of Kundalini up the spine, opening the 7 sealed chakras and the third eye, bringing forth the self-realization and the higher consciousness. That symbolizes the realm or the throne of Michael. Michael, which means he who dares to be like God. Mikael within the Quran. Right? He dares to be like God. All right? That's what that is symbolic to. Right? So we find that the serpent that is winged before the fall represented the very highest character in the sequence. The snake that is fallen stands for the lowest. The snake representing DNA stands or strands is there at the beginning and is here in the end. Like the Aurorius, its beginning is the end and vice versa. When the serpent lost his wings, however, and was condemned to walk the dust, the earthly was disconnected from the divine, and the lines went down, and man, now humanity, became a fully and grossly material being, wholly identified with physical, organic nature. Get the book by Homo sapiens, right? Aeolus Kefres. He told you this. It's right here. Right? So we look at that Ptah is the creator, the netter or nature of the physical world. He is the spirit that has descended into and trapped in matter. So what is Ptah? Ptah symbolizes the soul, the new soul being born into matter, mother, and would be the principle of Heru, which symbolizes Lucifer, Uriel. Heru is the original fallen angel from heaven. Heru was the light in matter. And the nickname for Heru as bringer of light in matter was Lucifer, Uriel, the bearer of light. The ancient Africans would use play on words to express the reverse of an idea. So Ptah meant spirit falling into matter. And Hotep was spirit leaving matter, the body, and going to a peaceful resting place. Today, we use the term Hotep to mean peace. All right, so this is what the ancients was dealing with on some high science. All right, so we know that in the Hebrew traditions, he's known as Michael, he who dares to be like God. That symbolized the pineal gland and the crown chakra, which is the top of the head. The melanin energy seat or seal, which extends the auric halo. All right, and Uriel sat underneath, which is the pituitary gland, which symbolizes now, since Uriel has fallen, the serpent has fallen into the abode, which is known as the sacral bone area. We find that Gabriel took the place of Uriel. Gabriel now sits at the sixth spot, which is the sixth chakra or the third eye level. All right, that's what we find out. All right, so right here, we see that Jesus said that he had Jesus am he who lived and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. And have the keys of hell and of death. Right? It says that Jesus going to hell for 3 days and 3 nights to get the keys from Satan over hell and death. That's in the book of Peter and in the book of Revelation. So Jesus went to hell and got the keys from Uriel, Lucifer, Heru, to raise up, back up, because Uriel teaches the path of the heart, the path of, right, the fire of the pure love and the devotion of spirit. All spiritual studies remain an intellectual pursuit. All right, and here we have the same correlation in the Greek mythology of Prometheus. Prometheus is a titan, immortal, that stole fire, which is talking about Kundalini, Shakti Shiva force from the gods and brought it to man, hence the mind, the physical body, matter. He climbed Olympus and he stole the fire from the chariot of the Helios. All right, in later mythology, that's Apollo. Prometheus carried to Mount Caucasus, or what is known as what? Caucasian or Caucasian. All right, as it was said, where the eagle, phoenix, by the name of Aton, offspring of this monster Typhon, which is Soot, which is Set, would eat out the liver, and it will grow back every day, and the eagle will eat it again. All right. So this is why in the Bible, Jesus was pierced in his side, which was in his liver, in which that the blood in the water came out. All of that is symbolic. See, we've been caught up into the mythologies. All right. So here we have the goat of Mendez, as we was talking about earlier, Brother Sa. This is the goat of Mendez on the walls of ancient Kemet. This is the origin of Baphomet. All right. The origin of the goat of Mendez can be traced back to ancient Egypt. Goats and rams were worshipped in many cities throughout Egypt thousands of years ago. The goat is symbolized synonymous with Satanism. The horns represents the horny or horned goats and goddesses. Moses was a horned man. Right? You'll find statues with him with horns on his head. Goats also symbolize fertility in many different cultures and times. The goats also symbolize fertility. So ritual rites dates all the way back to Samaria. All right, now check this out now. The goat symbolizes fertility in multiple multiplicity, excuse me. It says the life force, Beryl, which activates and raises the serpent. The goat of 1,000 youngs is referring to the crown chakra, the Sahara in Sanskrit, which meant 1,000-petal lotus. So hold up, the goat, which symbolizes fertility, is the same energy that you have to use to raise the Kundalini. In other words, you got to use sex magic. You have to use sexual energy to raise the serpent, the Kundalini, to the crown chakra. So it's not evil. It's the way that you use it. It's the way you use it. Here it is. Nefesh, which means ka, or the living spiritual soul. Ruach, which means wind, or ba, or soul body. Or Ruach ha-kadesh, which means the holy breath. Or Nesamha, all right? Or Neshama, which means breath, or Haku, or glorious light body. Check this out. This is where we find Genesis 2:7, union. Soul, breath of life, which is Nehemiah. It says, being a living creature, Nefesh, Shaima, or Haima, or Haya. And it says, lower self, or the four devils, called the animal soul, which is called Nefesh ha-Bahamut. And it's talking about what? The mortal body. So Baphomet symbolizes the mortal body, the physical body. So I guess just like the planets were evil, Venus is an evil planet, Sirius must be an evil planet. So now your body must be evil. Oh, I forgot, the Christian do say that you was born in sin. But as Brother Bobby says, no, you was born in skin. Right?
That's
you go
right.
to Holy Quran 7, it says right here, chapter 7, it says, man is the breath made flesh. Man made the breath made flesh. That's what man is. So Nefesh ha-Bahamut, Bahamut with Baphomet, is talking about the four devils, which is talking about the four lowest chakras. Your root chakra, navel chakra, solar plex chakra, and your heart chakra. All right. And when the Kundalini fell, his high position, which is from the third eye, where it used to originally reside at, and the only place that you had to go was one step up, was to the crown chakra. Well, we became so materialistic that it fell from even the sixth or third eye position, which is the pituitary gland, and it fell down into the root or base chakra, which is the sacral bone area. And that where it resides at is in the sacral bone. This is the triangular shaped sacral bone area, which is right above the crown, where the Kundalini resides at within most people. See, the ancient Egyptians worshiped the serpent. Oh my God, this is satanic. Oh shit, oh no. But look at him. He's standing before the serpent. Now he kneeling before the serpent with the arms in a cock position, which means spirit. So this is talking about the Kundalini, or the Holy Spirit, which is at the base of this spinal column that we just showed you right here in the sacral or bone area. This is the abode of the Kundalini. And Kundalini means to coil you up, because it's right 3.5 times coil at the base of the spine in this triangular bone called the sacrum. And the word sacrum is from sacred. In the Vudan teachings, they tell you about Damballa, which was a serpent man. As you see here, these are the sigils or the veves of the serpent man, known as Damballa, which is a form of Abatala, which Abatala symbolizes the crown of the head. So when Damballa raises up, as you see here, and go through the 7 chakras, this is why the 7 chakras is above the head, and his head is tilted back, because it symbolizes going into the crown. Get the book, the Haitian Vudan Handbook. And that's Philine. It tells you that Damballa Wedo is depicted as a serpent or snake, and his veves reflects this aspect of him. When he possesses a human, he does not speak, but instead only hiss and whistle. It's right here. right here. And so in the Taoist teachings, it teaches us they practice balance between the raising and the descending energies, the yin and yang, by learning how to move this energy up and down the front and the back of the body in a complete circle. And it's called the snake swallowing its tail. This is known as the microcosmic orbit. The ancient Egyptians taught this. Here it is right here on the walls of the ancient Egyptians of the snake biting his tail. That is called Aurora Boreas, which illuminates your auric field. All right. The microcosmic orbit, the small universe, as the energy goes up and down into the body. This is the sacral bone area that we just talked about. And as you see, it's shaped like a sword, the sword of justice. Remember in your Bible, it tells you, it talks about Jesus and justice. Well, if you go to the Nation of Islam, if you go to the Moral Science Temple teachings, it tells you that where did he get the name Jesus? From the East. What did the name Jesus mean? Jesus means justice. We come down into the lessons for the tribe of Shabazz. And it says, therefore, ye have the title Christ Jesus. But it says, let's go up. It says Christ, as most people think, is not just a name, it's a title of man and a people that would become God and master of the earth. Christ means one who is anointed to bring justice to the world.
All right, hold on, Alim, hold on. Everybody out there listening, make sure y'all get y'all questions ready because we're going to open up the phone lines when the brother finishes his presentation, and y'all can be able to ask some specific questions, man. All right, so make sure y'all get y'all questions ready. Go ahead, brother Alim.
All right, so Christ means one who is anointed to bring justice to the world. The word justice means Jesus. Therefore, you have the title Christ Jesus, for the God of the last days of this kind of world of conquerors and kingdoms. All right, Nimrod and his people are the antichrist, or the people who are opposed to the anointed and the justice he brings on Judgment Day. All right, so we know that Jesus symbolizes justice, which is talking about the base or root chakra area of the Kundalini that resides at in the sacral bone area, which is symbolic to justice, as you see here, the sword of justice. All right, so we know that symbolizes right here. We see that the serpent offers the eye of Horus, which is the all-seeing eye. So this is talking about the sexual energy raising up to the all-seeing eye, just as we talked about. The serpent has an erection indicating that represents sexual energy as taught at the Kundalini and Tantric rituals. It also represents the passage of this energy up the spine through the reptilian part of the brain until it reaches the hypothalamus, the mind's eye. Here's some more of the same serpent. And I'm showing you this because the Christians equate, and Muslims and Jews equate the serpent with the devil. But here it tells you that Atum is a primordial god that was represented in the form of a human and a serpent. He was the supreme god of the Heliopolis, Enad. So right here you see him in the form of Sata holding Atum. And then in front of him is, once again, with the rod and that staff, the winged pygmy or Twa, the Anu. The Anu. All right, so here we have, once again, the serpent with legs. All right, that serpent symbolizes Typhon. And this is where they stole the Satan concept from. All right. You're not going to hell. You're already in hell. Satan is your opposite divine self, and it's called the divine balance. You need it because you need the ego in order to live within the flesh for a time period. Otherwise, you won't have a survival skill. Right? So don't let it scare you. Right? So right here, astrologically, Satan is Saturn. right? Saturn. In the Greek mythology, Saturn plays the allegorical character of an old, fearful man named Kronos, who is also known as the Father Time, aka Grim Reaper. Right? You know about the Grim Reaper. Right? One of the attributes of Saturn rings is that they slow down the movement of atoms, which is what concentrate energy into form. So Saturn is actually the planet in which that has the influence over your blood, over your DNA, and your skeleton system. It slows down the movement of atoms, in which that concentrates energy into form, whereas the sun accelerates the movement of motion of atoms. So anything that gets trapped in Saturn's orbit is hindered by time in space, i.e., this is where you get the concept, the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings. So in a Egyptian text, which is the Book of the Dead, the Papyrus of Ani, in Metu Neter, it says that making the transformation into the serpent Satan. You just put the N on Satan and you have the word Satan. And it says is a man who could become immortal like Satan by repeating prayers to identify himself with the nature. The great serpent Satan, right? This is the great red dragon in your Bible. Son of the earth was immortal because he was regenerated every day in the womb of the sky nature goddess Nut. And just like he was called a man, Jesus was called the Son of Man. So hence, Jesus said he will lift up the serpent in the wilderness, just like Moses. He said, be ye gentle as doves and wise as serpents. Yo, Jesus said that. So see, 1 minute is negative in the book of Genesis because it's dealing with your genealogy, your DNA, manifestation of coming into the flesh, Heru, the soul, coming into the physical matter, body. However, Jesus symbolized the story of leaving the flesh, the resurrection. So this is what he's talking about, the root chakra, which is your so-called devil or double. That's the lowest self, animal survival instincts, the ego, as we was talking about. This is the lotus sigil, which represents the root chakra, which you can look at within the Indo-Kushite teachings. Okay, it represents Saturn. Remember, this is Saturn right here, the so-called planet Saturn. And as you see, this you have the rings around Saturn, which we'll get to, but this is also a cube-shaped structure here, which is used around the world. Right? The Kaaba, which is symbolic to Saturn, and why the so-called Jewish people worship on Saturday. In other words, they have the Sabbath. And the traditions of in Mecca is to walk around the Kaaba, 7 times, counterclockwise, and then kiss the black stone, which symbolizes the pineal gland, the cornerstone, the philosopher's stone. That's what this is all talking about. See, the Kaaba is symbolic to Kanun, which you have here, creating the Ka and the Ba on his potter's wheel, with Kenat holding up the Ankh of life, giving life to it.
But check this out, brother Dr. Alim. How come nobody make reference? I'm the only one that I've seen so far that made the connection between what the Muslims stole out of Kemet. Because some people say, well, what did the Muslims steal? What did they steal? Right. Well, the same thing you're talking about right now, the Ka and the Ba that represent the spirit and the soul. So I said, what these Arabs had done, what these fake Muslims have done was came in, Because remember, we seen them coming in way before the white man. They put us in slavery first, before the white man got there. So they saw this science and they put the two together and they called it the Kaaba, the El Qibla, the house of God, the El Rukin. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that they have stolen from ancient Kemet. All these religions that's on the planet today have stolen something and twisted it and turned it and had it meaning something else. Because you already know the Kaaba, that's prior. That's way before the Islam. Check?
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead, brother. Had to throw that out there.
So, oh, yeah, definitely. So right here, we find that the Kaaba, which symbolizes the spirit, which symbolizes the Kundalini energy, the Holy Spirit, and then the soul, which is embedded inside of the pineal gland. This is the picture of the pineal gland that we have here. And what does Dr. Frank Ball says? He says, matter is shaped and structured by light. These molecular melanin combinations eat light in order to maintain, expand, and evolve matter. The more highly evolved the species, the more complex its biological capacity to use light. Now, Lucifer is called the light bearer, the light bringer. Uriel, that's Heru. Heru is who is awakened from the activation of the soul by via the spirit, which is the Ka, which is all set, to the soul, which is all saw. And when them two have the divine marriage in heaven, produces Heruhood. All right. That's what's going on. All right. So I continue showing you right here. Dr. Layla African Nutricides, and also in my book, The First World Order, we show you the brain being blown up to the equivalent size of, and this is an electrical magnetic cloud that sits above the pineal gland. This is Heru that we're talking about, in which that produce, which is the reproduction, or as we would say, the reincarnation of Osar, which is the soul embedded inside the pineal gland. So when the soul is awakened by the Kundalini or set, he now becomes awakened and now transformed from Osar, which is the sleeping God, which symbolizes unconsciousness, into now the conscious God, which is Heru, the awakened one. That is the Christ. That is Melchizedek. That is Uriel, Lucifer. Right? That is Buddha. That is Shiva. That is Melchizedek. That is above the pineal gland in the third ventricle in your brain. This is the eye of Horus. It's alive and it floats above the pineal gland, influences melanin and the spirit world unseen. Metaphysically, this is Nibiru, Nebheru, the golden light. All right. And what does it look like? This right here looks identical to Saturn, which is right here, which is the Lord of the Rings. And this is right in your brain. This is a form of Satan too, as we got here. Because it formed the physical body into existence and had the pineal gland acts as a step-down transformer of electromagnetic energy of prana. And it sent that energy from the pineal gland to the pituitary gland to the thyroid glands, to the thymus gland, into the adrenal gland, spleen, pancreas, then into the testes and the prostate gland and the uterus and the ovaries for the woman. And since Saturn is the planet of death and transformation, on the sphere of life, what's known as the tree of life, you have the spheres, or the 10 spheres, which is known as the sphere of Thoth, which is talking about the sphere of knowledge. And Thoth is the same word as death, which symbolizes Darth Vader. That was in the movie Star Wars trilogies. We'll get to that in a second. But here's Samatawi, the union of the two lands. When Heru and Set is tied together, ultimately, there is no real such thing as good and bad. Evil equals live backwards. It is a matter of perception and conditioning. All right, so here we have the dual aspect of the soul. You have the harmonic aspect and the fiery aspect, which is the union of Heru Set. So when Set is raised up to become the Christ, become the Heru Set or Jesus Christ, there it is. You have Asar, Heru, Bes, Set. All of them is where the characters come from off of Star Wars. All right, both Heru and Luke Skywalker avenged their father's death. Heru is the god of the sky, Luke Skywalker, and Luke is called Skywalker. Seth, which is represents Set, which is, and Darth Vader represents Asar. The Lord of the Perfect Black has been known as. Skywalker represents Heru. Yoda is Bes. Princess Leia represents Mayat. It's right there. According to Egyptian Yoga, Volume 1 by Dr. Martha Ashby, that joins forces to tie up the symbol of union, which is Sematawi. And this symbol refers to the union of the upper and lower lands of Egypt. Under one ruler now, under Allah, the one God, Ahad. But also on a more subtle level, it refers to the union of one's higher self and lower self, Heru said, as well as the control of one's breath, life, through the union control of the lungs, breathing organs. Here it is, the same with the image of God with the two faces, a man and a woman, or in this case, Yoda, which is the word Yahudi, which is Judah, or Tahudi. Turn in the opposite directions, which is symbolic now to Set and Horus, or Sut and Heru. This is God as spirit, man, and matter, woman, or as man. And here we have the symbol of Baphomet once again. Now we have the inverted five-pointed star. We showed you the five-pointed star above the head, which symbolizes ascendant energy, which is the resurrection of the Jesus Christ energy, or the Ascetian, which is or sets Kundalini, Holy Spirit energy within you. Now, if you turn it downward, which represents descending energy. Okay, ascending energy symbolizes masculine energy, and descending energy symbolizes feminine energy, descending. So now, when you turn it right side up, you have the image of Yoda embedded inside the center, where George Lucas got the image of Yoda from, as you see here to the right, by turning Baphomet upside down. Inverted five-pointed star now. In other words, upright five-pointed star. All right, so we know that if you go to the 101 or the 101 keys of the Moorish children, the Moorish Americans, the 102s, it says, what is the devil sometimes called? The lower self. How many selves are there? 2. Name them. Higher self, lower self. How many people represents the higher self? The angels who protect the holy city of Mecca. What people represents the lower self? Those who are cast out of the holy city and those who accepted their teachings. What is the higher self? The higher self is the mother of virtues and the harmonies of life and breed justice, mercy, love, and right. And remember, Jesus is justice, so who breathed Jesus? The mother of virtues, the higher self. Can the higher self pass away? No. Why? Because it is a law in man. What does the lower self breed? Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. This is how we know when niggas are working on their lower self, brother Sa. This slander, just like it was against brother Bobby, just for a nigga can get hit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Go in, baby. Go in.
To get clicks. Well, we ain't in no click. We can talk about hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. That's what the lower self breeds. What does the higher self say to the lower self at one time when he met him? Where you going, Satan? And what is the answer the lower self gave to the higher self? I'm going to and fro on earth seeking whom I can devour. Has he finished his task of devouring? Yes. When is his time declared out? When he nailed Jesus on the cross. All of this is metaphysical. All right? You go to the Holy Quran, Circle 736, and it says this: know thyself and the pride of thy creation and the line uniting divinity and matter. Behold, a part of Allah himself within thee. Remember thy own dignity, nor dare descend to evil or to meanness. This is talking about Semitawi, Islamism, everlasting gospel, more science, whatever you want to refer to it as. This is talking about the line right here to the left of Set and Heru tying themselves together, which is the union or yoga. In the Bible, it's called the yoke. All right. So we know that when we're dealing with individuals, we're talking about the false prophet. The false prophet is mentioned 3 times in the book of Revelation. But the false prophet is the ego. The ego is the false prophet or the false self created out of fear. So we also know that where those attributes come from, hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms, that shit comes from fear. What you afraid of? That Bobby said, you're afraid of your goddamn self. That's the problem. You're afraid of illuminating yourself, becoming your higher self, one with your higher self. You want to stay in the goddamn murky ether. You want to stay in your goddamn lower self. That's what's going on. No matter how much it wants to be real, just like Cypher on the Matrix. Oh, I know this steak ain't real, nigga, but damn, it tastes good. Like the damn true creator source, so to speak, it never will be. It's only a reflection of the truth. When people teach each other to wake up, that means we need to realize the ego is not real and that we really are just one. The original source, that which nothing in all possibilities or no things. So stop projecting your ego as an enemy or being that wants to rule or something outside of yourself. Your ego is the way to the creator gave itself as the ability to focus itself on a separate consciousness to experience things, but it is not real in the sense that there is only the void, which again is no thing or possibility. Allah means nothingness. Al means the, La means not or nothing. The nothingness. That's what Allah means. So this is talking about your higher self, taking you back into your higher self. See, this is the whole point. Make yourself the object of intense study and you will discover the essence of God. This is comedic on proverb. But no, niggas don't want to do that. They want to slander without doing proper teaching, without giving people the substance of what's really going on. So we know that within the 5%ers, which the youngin claims he was a 5%er, he had the name Allah up in there, which meant Allah is arm, leg, arm, head, or arm, leg, arm, supreme head. And Allah, he, which symbolizes man, and Allah, who symbolizes the woman, and together are what is known as the Allahumma, which are the Elohim. This is who created.
Yo, you going all the way to fucking Alim, man. I don't know if the people can absorb this shit here. This you taking it to a higher goddamn level, baby.
Yeah, it's all right.
Showing it. Go ahead,
I'm about over, guy. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, go in, take your time. I'm not rushing you because you killing this shit and you showing it. So go ahead and lay it down.
Right. So the Elohim, when it speaks of in the Genesis, when it speaks about that we created man in our image and after our likeness, who the hell was our? That was the Elohim, right? Which symbolizes Alpha and Omega, the beginning and end, the Aum or the Alim, or Alim, which means the universe or the all-knowing. You are the all-knowing in the form of your soul embedded inside of the body, which is the arm, leg, arm, head, which is talking about your physical body. But that is also shown to us in the Hebrew text, when you do the Yahivahe, which is known as the tetragrammaton, the tetragrammaton, grammaton, that is Yahivahe, and it comes to the numeral 26, and 2 plus 6 is the number 8. In the same place that we talking about where the Kundalini resides at, I postulate that the Kundalini stems from those 8 divided cells of mitosis, which are the 8 same cells that form the physical body into existence, or the same goddamn 8 cells in which that the Kundalini emerges from 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 6,000 degrees in temperature, and raised through the 7 chakras. And for those that have a calcified pineal gland, they can spontaneously combust. For those that have an activated pineal gland, then they can go on and achieve oneness with their higher self, which is their Heru, their higher self, their personal God or Lord and Savior, which is what we're supposed to be heading towards. But nah, Negroes want to get caught up into the religious and exoteric, which is the symbolic to, they tell you that Solomon's temple in the first Kings, but even that was metaphysical, that was allegorical, that was esoteric. That's dealing with the Kabbalah and the Freemasonry. That's the science of the talking about the human anatomy. The middle pillar is your spinal cord. Jacin and Boaz is your Ida and your Pingala, which is known as the black and the white serpent. 1 Kings 4:30 says, Solomon, wisdom surpassed the wisdom of all the sons of the east and all the wisdom of Egypt. Egypt symbolized in this sense Lower Egypt, which is actually, if you look on the map, actually would be Upper Egypt. Lower Egypt would be down towards Ethiopia, Sudan, as we now refer to it as today. So we also know that the earth maps that they have given us, such as the Mercator map, must be upside down. As we know that they made Africa small. But we know Africa is actually 5 times the size of the United States. You can take 5 United States and put in Africa and still have some space. So here we have the archetype, the pattern of the temple. Solomon's temple actually is about your physical body, and see what is written across his chest, Elohim. He is one of the Elohim. You are one of the Elohim. Once you become illuminated. And so you have the outer courts, the holy place, and the most holy place, which symbolizes the lower extremities as the outer court, where you defecate and urinate. Then you have the holy place, which is the mid torso, and then you have the most holy place, which is the head area, which is the kingdom.
See that? See that, my Hebrew brothers that's out there, man. I hope y'all really taking note, breaking this down. Stop taking it literal. Stop taking everything literal. There's signs and symbols to this shit right here, y'all. You see, and that's what we're trying. We here to help you, man. We helping you, man. Stop taking this shit literal. That's all we're saying. High Priest Daniel Allah, if your ass in the building, I mean, come on, pop your head up, man. Come up in the chat room, man. Go ahead, Brother Alim.
Right, so this is metaphysical. This is the Mosaic temple. And this is the Mosaic temple, just like the rest of the temples, are laid out in the form of man. Get the book, The Temple of Man, by R.A. Suala Dulewicz. He says in the Ancient Mysteries, this is also another book, The Ancient Mysteries and the Moderate Masonry, by Charles H. Vale, 33rd Degrees. He says there is the truth, deification, or hypothesis. It says man is like God in that he becomes a God. This is right here. This is the same thing in the Temple of Man. I'm going to show you. The sacred temple of the ancients were constructed to reflect the human body. Egyptologist R.A. Swallow Lubix, in his famous The Temple in Man, says that the great house of God, called the Temple of Luxor, just like the Temple of Solomon, just like the Mosaic Temple, is based on the Temple of Man. Here, he says the outline of a human skeleton trace according to the anthropomorphical methods and very carefully constructed. It says bone by bone was superimposed on the general plan of the temple. The head is located exactly in the sanctuaries of the covered temple. The sanctuary of the bark of the Amun is the oral cavity. The chest is located the first hypostyle of the covered temple and ended with the temple's platform. The anatomy is represented by the peristyle court. The pubis is located exactly at the door separating the peristyle from the colonnade of Amun. This marvelous colonnade is in fact dedicated to the femur, the thighs. The knees are at the site of the gate in front of that which sits the two colossi, mark the entrance to this colonnade. One might be tempted to think that the skeleton has been constructed to be superimposed on the temple, but any skeleton can be projected thus on the plan of the temple and will coincide with it. Moreover, all the portions of the skeleton may be checked against the actual measurements of the temple. So here it is. Dr. Ben put it in his book. The Temple of Luxor, located 2 miles from Thebes.
Look at that. Look at that, man.
This is the Temple of Luxor.
Scholarship at its best, goddammit.
Yeah, all the temples are based on man. A perfect man, that is, one who has risen himself up to become God once again. Not those scary niggas out there that still talking about, oh no, Satan's gonna get me. I'm going to hell. The devil. Nah, that's not it. In order to become the perfect man, you must utilize your ego to become the spirit man, to become the Christ, to become Melchizedek. Right? The Temple of Man was built by Ramesses II in the 13th century BC. Right? That's when it was built. And what it says right here, there, the king and his divine essence called the Ka, and the created at his birth was united, and the king transformed into a divine being, a transfigured God-man. That's what we're talking about.
Let me ask you something, Brother Alim.
Yeah.
Now, you know young Pharaoh gonna see this. If
Right.
young Pharaoh call you out, because you know that brother there, he might end up trying to call you out. Will you have a debate with him on this topic, like what you're dealing with right now?
You're not gonna call out
God, there's no debate.
You don't think he'll call Dr. Alim out? If he can do this to Bobby, Alim is like, come on now. If he can call out Bobby Hemmitt and do this, what makes you think he ain't gonna call Alim out? That'd be a wrong move, because Alim is here. You see?
That's why. That's exactly why you answered your own question. But and then he have to show and prove that he been inspired by the God Alim.
Uh-huh. All right, go ahead, brother.
So right here, Edfu Temple is the Temple of Heru, all right, which is the same temple that we just showed you, the temple in Luxor, all right? So it tells you that all of this is based on the physical anatomy. And so when you have risen Kundalini, which is also known as your Shechem or Segmat within the woman, once that energy has risen, the ancients called it Herbak. The light teachings were also referred to as the inner traditions. Another name for the sacred traditions is called the Haka, which is named after Tahuti. Right? This is when we talk about the mastery of the lesser or lower self mysteries of Set and the greater, higher self mysteries of Heru. This is when both combines, as we showed you, and now you become the immortal being. Right? As you see here, in the head, what is the energy in which that they said, Sa, at the top here, in which that illuminates the crown chakra, that give you the halo towards the crown chakra? What is that? What is the word up there at the top, Sa?
Luciferian.
It is, thank you. And it says Luciferian becomes oxy-Luciferian as it transforms from Luciferus, which is what? Oxy-Luciferian becomes light.
Man, hey, yo, I don't care what nobody say. He's proven it right now. He showed you in the Bible what Lucifer is. You see, because now this right here should lay to rest. All of that evil stuff that y'all be talking about, that just shows y'all don't do no research. Y'all don't study. Y'all listening to these white boys, and we've been laying this down for years. For years,
Exactly.
man. For years.
Come on.
So I had to go and call the brother Alim, bring him back out here to this new generation right now, because y'all falling asleep listening to these neophytes. Y'all falling asleep again. So go ahead, brother Alim.
Right. So Luciferin becomes Luciferus, which becomes oxyluciferin, which is light. That is the any transfer. And look at Luciferin. It is what is a generic name for the light emitting pigments.
So Bobby Hemmitt was right or wrong?
Of course. Of course. This is science. You can look this shit up right now. Luciferin is a genetic name for light-emitting pigment found in organisms capable of bioluminescence, like fireflies, deep-sea fish, and microbes. Hold up, it was a name. Hold up, it was named after the Roman god of light, Lucifer. God damn. It said luciferin is oxidized in the presence of enzyme luciferase to produce oxyluciferin and energy in the form of light. There it is. The firefly, you in your golden dragon body, if you illuminate yourself with the Kundalini, this is why this is the dragon. This is the golden dragon, as you see here. You see the dragon? That's over top of the head. That's the halo. Until you eventually become an Ethereum, which is all to the right. And what energy do you use? What is the energy you use? You use the Luciferian energy, God damn it. Ooh, you used it. And that's how you illuminate yourself. That's what the Kundalini does. This is the transference. This is scientific. So if you want to come after me based on science, you better come with the books, come with the science, come with the anthropology, come with the archaeology, come with all the religions. Because I bought at least about 8 religions up in here. Okay? Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Shintoism, Taoism. All right? So we bought it. All right, sir. That's it. You ready for it? You ready?
Like the video.
Yeah.
Thumb up the video.
Give me out.
All right, man. We're gonna unshare your screen now so we can see you, brother. Unshare the screen.
Here we go.
All right, there you go. Let me put it back now. I see you. Let me put you back in this right spot. There you go. I got 2 windows open up me right up at the top. Let me get rid of that one. All right. Family, man. We're going to open up these phone lines. We want to see if y'all got some real questions up in here, man, with this shit. But see, Brother Alim, Dr. Alim don't surprise me. I already know how he gets it in. You know what I'm saying? I already know how he gets it in. And family, make sure y'all use that Cash App, man. Thank you for everybody who has contributed already through the Cash App. You know, support. Thank you. I appreciate that. But use that Cash App, man. Whatever y'all want to donate, you know. And let's open up these phone lines. We're going to open up the phone lines. Brother Alim, I want to ask you the question because I seen when Monica Lamb first asked the question, but you started already. And she wanted to know, how do you activate, I think something like, the chakras, or like, what does that mean? I don't know. But we'll get to that later. Hopefully she'll come in and ask her own question. But we're going to take the first question.
Call from.
Peace and Black Power family. What's your name and where you calling from?
Peace, son. That is your brother So Beck from VA, Virginia. What's happening?
All right, So Beck, what it is, man?
Chilling.
All right, I want to let you know, when you ask your question, you're going to have to hang up and listen to the monitor on the screen because you ain't going to be able to hear him.
Why you say that?
All right, so we got Brother Alim in the building. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, so Brother Alim, did the Kemites have a system, a yoga system or internal system that they were using breathing exercises, meditation, stretching, etc. that predates Indian yoga?
Yes, exactly.
Even though we know that they didn't call it yoga, but did they have an internal system?
Yeah, it was called Samatawi, as I was saying.
It was called Scimitar. Yes, they did, brother.
Called Samatawi, which was the union of the lower self to the higher self.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, brother Alim.
Call from.
Right.
Oops, your caller just hung up. Press 2 to call.
Okay, can you hear me now?
What, that's on your end, Alim?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, all right. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we waiting on some calls. Call in, family.
Okay.
Well, you about to answer.
Call from.
Peace and Black Power, family. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Kobe from Oakland, California.
All right, brother Kobe. We got Dr. Alim Bey in the building. What's your question, my brother?
Well, I'm kind of late on the conversation, but I looked at the title. It says about young pharaoh. He write about Bobby Hemmitt.
Right.
And I seen young pharaoh. His disagreement about him was he saying that gay people was a gatekeeper, and I'm saying that he agreed with that. You think that's a good thing to tell our people?
Who you talking about? Me?
No, the what you got the title. You said it said Bobby Hemmitt is young. Was young right about Bobby Hemmitt, young pharaoh? And I was watching.
Yeah, well,
young pharaoh.
Let me explain that.
When he said that Bobby Hemmitt said gay people was the gatekeeper.
No, but what Bobby said was that in a book.
My question is, y'all agree with that?
In a book.
Okay, listen to his he's responding to you right now.
Right.
Listen to your monitor and you can hear it. Listen
Right.
to the monitor, brother.
Right.
Okay.
To your
Bobby
screen.
said
I'm gonna leave you
that
on in case you want to come back.
Right. In a book written by Sameh. All right, Sameh is an African, and in a book that he wrote, it was one after of Water and Spirit. He wrote in that book that he said that that as he was going through his initiation, he found out that the individual in which that was over the initiation, as far as the gatekeeper, was a homosexual. That's what Bobby said. And Bobby said he was repeating the information that he read in the book from Sameh.
Now you see that, brother? See, we gotta slow down and stop being so quick. Hopefully you understand that right there.
All right, you can get the book yourself.
But I heard what I heard when I heard what he said. He said it direct. He said gay people was a gatekeeper. I don't know if he used it as a metaphor for what, but I heard what I heard. But I can agree to disagree.
But see, when you repeating what somebody else saying, you ain't get it from the horse's mouth.
Right,
That's
but
what happened.
Right, but it was from Bobby was repeating the book. That's what he was reading from. And he said, so May specifically stated that allegedly that there was days in which that was over the gatekeeping rituals in Africa. That's what he was reading from the book. All right, that wasn't necessarily Bobby Hemmitt's position. He was simply stating what he read from May.
Right. Peace and Black Power, family. What's your name and where you calling from?
Man, Ricky Fareed, man. I'm calling from Memphis, bro.
What's going on, man? We got Brother Alim in the building. Do you have any questions for him?
I got a couple of questions, but I just want to ask him one basic, simple question.
Go ahead.
Not to be rude. I appreciate you allowing me to speak.
Go ahead,
talk right with this brother. Brother, I heard you just present a lot of things, information, right? My question is, does they have any bearing on our disposition? And if so, with the information that you have, what are you implementing to make us better in this society, to change our disposition as a nation?
Well, brother,
okay, listen to the screen, brother. I ain't gonna hang up on you. I'm gonna let you listen to the screen. Go ahead, Brother Alim.
It's real simple. The whole thing that we was breaking down was talking about how to illuminate yourself, which is the final level. Now, if your focus is here on a materialistic plane and that's your only focus in life, I know people who's almost 100 years old and still act like they in kindergarten. Okay? And it ain't because of no damn Alzheimer's.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right.
He's speaking to you. You got to listen to the screen, to your monitor. He's talking
Right,
to
so-
you right now.
Right.
Okay,
So it's
I'm
real
here.
simple. It's real simple. If you want to illuminate, that's the information I was talking about. Me and Sai can come back and do another lecture about business and economics, because I have my own businesses. All right. I have several houses. We have land, all right, over 100 acres. So if you want to talk about business, then we can talk about that. But tonight, we're talking about specifically the teachings of Bobby Hemmitt and the illumination factor based on Lucifer, Satan, and the origin of Baphomet.
All right.
Okay, I heard what you said, but you never answered the question, though.
He did answer the question, brother. What are you talking about?
Oh, you can't get it. See, that's what we're talking about.
I asked him what if, hold on, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. I asked a simple question. With the information that you have, what are you implementing into our society as a nation?
All right. In our
Listen to the
society,
screen. He's going to tell you right now.
me personally, I've implemented online classes where we teach on the science of breath, Qigong, Tai Chi, Reiki, pranic healing, reflexology, acupressure, numerology, astrology, and many other different facets in which that will help an individual master themselves. Right. We also have built a school on our land, all right, which is known as the Healing Wings Institute, right? We also have a store, all right, which is known as Juice and More. Juices, smoothies, vegan food, oils, candles, incense, everything in which that heals. I've also written over 10 books, all right, in which that will help a person in this arena as far as metaphysics, esoteric occult teachers, but also in business, because I can teach a person how to do business. All right, so these are the things that I've put together.
Okay,
Right?
I feel you. I get you now. I get you.
Yeah, we help to empower. We lead you right back to yourself.
Telling me what is being done.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. What we are doing are enlightening the people with the information in order to end confusion. That's what we are doing. To me, that's the most important aspect of life. Because I hate to be 100 years old, not knowing who I am, still waiting for white Jesus to come out the sky. That's me personally.
And we also want to inspire our people to do more. We are creative. We always vibrate on the resonance of the ancient Egyptians. But what about creating now? You see? Utilizing that ancient bloodline in order to, we don't need to utilize their traditions and
Thank you, brother. Peace, man. You know what it is, Alim? I think people be looking for a dramatic change in the world as a whole.
Right.
They don't know how to take the information for themselves personally and make it work for them. They looking for the big majority of the people making a change at the same time. It don't work like that. You got to work on yourself. And when you work on yourself, that's where you see the change. You're looking outside of yourself for the condition of changing the universe. It don't work like that, brother. Peace and Black Power family. What's your name and where you calling from?
Slim, I'm calling out of Florida.
Yes, sir. What's happening, man? Talk to us.
Hey, Pigs, yeah, I just want to talk to Dr. Alim.
You got him right now.
Peace.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing like the last caller talking about what are you doing? But I just want to be known. See, you probably don't remember me. I used to go in your bookstore, Cultural Freedom, in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I just want to put out, see, I was active duty at the time. I don't want to say my real name on the air, but I went to the classes, and I just want everybody to know that I was there when you and your wife
when y'all would give the free classes and y'all would teach anybody that would show up.
Say it again, bro. You say that was free.
Say that again, brother. He said, say that again. He was giving out what classes?
I said, Dr. Alim would give free classes in his bookstore, Cultural Freedom. He would give free classes to anybody that would show up. Anybody.
Go ahead,
didn't
brother.
charge nothing. Passed around a little, just pass around like a little donation bucket. You know, put in if you want. But but my point is, he's been dedicated to the people for a long time.
That's right. I already know.
What I'm saying? And he was doing it. Dr. Alim, I want to say I was at Fort Bragg from 2003 to 2007, and I think I started going in there in about maybe like 2005, 2006. But yeah, it was you know what I'm talking about, right on right in the
Murchison Road on Shaw Road.
All right. Yeah, he said right on Shaw Road. Right on Shaw Road.
Yeah, Cultural Freedom. So yeah, I just want to, just let people know that this dude been teaching the people for a long time, and this is before YouTube.
Thank you, brother. Thanks a lot, family. Appreciate you.
Before YouTube, but no, I just want to hit on one more thing, y'all. You had Lord Abel on the other day,
right?
And he said something about Dr. Clark, about the Arabs invading West Africa,
right?
And he threw something out there, and I don't think it was 100% correct. He said that I guess it was Dr. Clark or Dr. Ben. They had said something about Arabs going into West Africa, and he said there was no way that Arabs can make it all the way from East Africa all the way into West Africa. That's not true. I believe the stance was Islam. It was Islamized blacks that destroyed states in West Africa and not Arabs.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to correct him on that because I felt like he was up there using some technology, and I didn't think that was okay.
All right, thank you, my brother. Appreciate your call.
So, all right, peace and black power.
Peace and black power. All right, brother Alim, that's powerful. Yeah, see, a lot of people don't understand, man. I know you've been doing this, man. We've been doing this way before YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And Google was not our teacher. You had to go into them books. You had to dig into the research. You had to do real research. Not this easy stuff where you can type on there and get, man. You had to read that shit. So, yeah, man. All right, come on, callers. Let's get these callers. Here we go.
Call from Kiki.
Peace and black power, family. What's your name and where you calling from?
I got any questions, too?
Kiki from Florida.
Kiki, talk to us. We got Dr. Alim Bey in the building, sister.
Okay, I just have a quick question. I want to know what's the difference between Satan, the devil, and Lucifer, because it's like sometimes I'm hearing them being compared the same, and then sometimes they're different.
Okay, what's the difference between Satan and Lucifer? Are you listening to your monitor right now? And the devil, Satan, Lucifer, and the devil. Are you listening to your monitor right now? Okay, I'm gonna put you on mute for a minute. Listen to your monitor, and you can come back when he finishes answering it. Dr. Alim, go ahead, brother.
All right, remember, as above, so below, as within, so without. That's the supreme axiom. So as above, Satan is Saturn, the planet. Lucifer is Venus, the planet. Okay? The devil would be when the sun sets. Hence the term set.
Yeah.
So those are external of yourself. As above, so below. Now we're going to get into as within. We already did without. So now let's look at within. Saturn, all right? Once you raise the so-called serpent back up, as we said, will be the activation of the pineal gland. All right? But in its capture into matter, it would be the red chakra, which is your base chakra. That would be your devil or lower self. The Kundalini lies within the root or base chakra, which is your sacral bone. And that will be what is known as Satan. All right. The Luciferian energy, as what we just showed you, would be when the serpent raises up and sparks certain areas in the brain to create that halo, which is known as oxyluciferin or Luciferian energy, in which that produce that glow around your head, which is that halo. That's why we was wearing the afros back in the 70s, because that symbolized that halo for melanated people. All right. So that is the as above, so below, as within, so without. Is nothing but aspects of yourself.
All right, sister, you hear?
Yes, thank you.
Let me ask you a question. According to your understanding, what does Satan mean to you? What is Satan to you? How you been taught?
Well, I'm just getting the gist of everything, so I'm just learning everything. That's why I was asking. But
Okay.
It's like I'm just getting mixed reviews. It's like, you know, people are saying they're all the same and that they're different, but I understand where he's coming from.
Okay, thank you, sis, for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, come on, call it in, y'all, because you know y'all been taught that Satan is under the ground. You know y'all been taught that Satan is under the ground with a red pitchfork and
that's right.
And you know, with fire, everlasting fire, where you're gonna burn on a barbecue pit until eternity. You know y'all been taught that, man.
Look, it's real simple.
What does it mean?
Hold on. It's real simple.
Go ahead.
It's real simple.
Hold on, caller. Go ahead, brother Ali.
The root chakra, remember, the root chakra is the color red. So that symbolizes the devil dressed in all red.
Uh-huh.
And then he has horn. Well, hold on. When you're in your lower self or lower nature, you get horny.
Yeah, I got you.
You see? Right. So that's what that's symbolic to, is sexual energy. Mm-hmm. And that's the fire in which that you will burn with, which is called desire. God damn. Rick James and Tina Marie had a song called Fire and Desire. And that's what they was talking about, was sexual energy and burning with that energy.
That's right.
Which is talking about food shock.
That's right. Fire and desire. They was definitely talking about that sexual energy. Peace and Black Power family. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, brother Solid Steve from Cleveland.
What's going on, my brother? Talk to me. We got brother Alim in the building today with us.
Hey, brother Alim and the Queen.
Peace.
I got a question. Kind of similar to the last question that the sister had in regards to the Satan situation. Now, I've moved away from Christianity and try to adopt any other religious system, especially after becoming conscious. Like I've given credit to you for, as far as bringing a lot of conscious views into the community, but none of them seem to stick because a lot of them revolve around religion. So the brother Alim spoke on money. You spoke on just separating yourself, and the sister just spoke on something as far as us still being creative. And I had a problem with religion as far as talking about everything in the past instead of talking about the fact that prophecy is still being revealed. So I'm like, a lot of that became heresy to me anyway, because now we're being stuck in something as if that we're not even living a life now that has prophecy to it. And these new things coming out, like your brother Ali, showing that all this has a connection in divine energy, bringing it back to our community to have us with clear understanding. Unfortunately enough, we haven't been enlightened enough to even be able to perceive it, because there's a lot of information to take in without even knowing how to take all information in. Truth is truth. So you can see the truth in there. And I think we just need to reset our mind and get centered when we try to move to something else so we can receive some knowledge. We don't have to pick up all the knowledge the brother just picked up, but there's got to be truth in it because it comes from us. And it takes one of us to be enlightened enough to take it to the next level of understanding. And in scholarship, you ain't going to learn it overnight. But you do know truth when you hear truth, and you know the truth came out of our essence and our beings as Black melanated people of this earth. So returning back to that, because one thing they did say, we live in a time of Aquarius, which was saying it was a time of enlightenment. So the enlightenment is us. And we have to reset ourselves and quit thinking that we have to know and understand everything at once. Allow ourselves to be reset so we can receive and be true scholars of truth.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
I got one other thing to say, Sonetta. Your
Go ahead.
Cash App, I tried to find it and I can't seem to get it on. I tried to donate to the number that's on the screen right now. So I had you locked the phone.
No, not
But
the
is there a
number.
number
But
connected?
what you do is just go to the $, Sonetta TV, not the dot, just Sonetta TV. You should see my picture pop up, and it'll be there. You'll see it. It'll
Yeah,
pop
it
up.
never comes up on my side.
Oh, okay.
It never comes up on my side. So
All right, my brother.
um,
Thank you
trying
anyway,
to-
man. Thanks a lot. Don't give up, though. Don't
Yeah.
give up.
All right, peace and blessing all y'all.
Peace, brother. Thank you. All right. Hey, let me let everybody know what's going on because, with the donations that my people give me, let me share something with y'all. And I know this right here that we got coming up this summer, me and brother Chris Broussard from Fox News. Y'all know Chris Broussard. We coming together. Chris Broussard is a part of a big organization in the Christianity church. So there are pastors that are coming together. These pastors have their own following, have their own churches. I think it's going to be 4 of them. And we're going to be doing the pastors of the Christian church takes on the conscious community. This is going to be powerful, brother Alim. And guess where we're doing it at, Alim? We are doing it at the A.R. Bernard Church in Brooklyn. You familiar with that? Are you familiar with A.R. Bernard? Everybody go and type up A.R. Bernard, and you'll see how he got the biggest church in Brooklyn. Over 2,500 people fits in that joint. Bad, brother. And we are going for D.L. Hughley for the moderator because him and Chris, they know each other very well. So D.L. Hughley, and we are doing it for free. Did you hear me, family? For free. This is going to be for free to give back to our people. Me and brother Chris, y'all don't want to miss this. This going down is going to be powerful. And the pastors, I think it's going to be 4 different pastors from 4 different churches. They are all coming together to take down the conscious community. Woo, man, this is going to be, y'all don't want to miss that. I'm trying to pick my 4 scholars right now. I'm in the process of picking my people because, if the church win this battle, it's a wrap. I don't think they're going to be able to win, though. And don't get it confused, family. And I know Alim, these pastors are scholars. These are not the pastors that you see out there talking about some white, blonde head, blue eye. No, they familiar with Dr. Ben. They read Dr. Clark. Remember the pastor who Dr. Khalid debated? Remember Chuck Singleton? Well, these pastors is like Chuck Singleton, bro. They get it in. They from the hood. They from the community. They know about us. And I'm telling you, they familiar with John G. Jackson. They know the science. They know about Kemet, but their faith is in the church and they teaching that. So I'm saying y'all don't want to miss it. This going down and we giving it up for free to our people. All right. The place hold 2,500. So man, I'm gonna tell you, when I throw this out there, y'all want to make sure y'all be in the building for this. I don't think it's gonna be another one like this. So, Alim, I'm hoping you be in the building for this one, brother.
I'm gonna be in the building for that one for sure.
Okay, shit, I might have you on the research team. Who knows? We're gonna see how it play out, and this is going down in July, the month of July. So this summer, y'all, be ready. As it gets closer, you're gonna see us building more and more and promoting. All right, so just be ready. We going in. All right, brother Alim, you want to say something on that?
Yeah, you just got me hyped and excited. I'm ready to see that.
Nobody does it better than Sonetta. You already know I'm planning on something. I'm planning on something this summer. And I'm giving it for free to the people. Come on, man. Yeah. What y'all gonna cry about now? Now Nothing. I'm bringing the Christians and the conscious community together. What y'all gonna cry about now?
Exactly. You know that place is gonna be packed.
Yeah, peace and Black Power, family. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, what's good, Sonetta? That's Josh calling from DC. How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on, Just?
Man, I'm just responding to the whole, young pharaoh madness is going on. You guys still talking about that?
Yes, go ahead. Talk about it. What's your thoughts on it?
So, all right, let me go ahead and kind of take my time to get it all the way out. From what I remember Bobby Hemmitt breaking down Satanism, Luciferianism, and all of that. And it sounds like young pharaoh really don't understand it or don't know how to follow it.
Right.
Now, it was a bill that I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe you shot this bill. This was years ago when he was talking about Anubis and he was in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And in that particular lecture, he talked about, he said it real fast, but he said, and he referenced the book and everything, but he was talking about Satan. Satan is based on suit on. Suit on turns into Satan. Suit meaning black, on meaning opening.
Right.
Black opening equals Satan. Satan, as we know, is 666 according to the Bible, according to the white people and all of that. So to me, it's real obvious what's being said at this point, because black opening, when you talk about black opening, that's what black holes, which is where the universe comes from, right? Earth and all of that shit comes out of black holes. Every black ass, white ass, Chinese, yellow individual on the planet Earth came out of a black hole in the form of a black woman. And young pharaoh sitting here trying to teach that the black woman is God. The nigga don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And they're going to try to bang on the goddamn legend. It's crazy, bro. I'm just sitting here smoking my joint, watching this shit with my girl. And I'm just like, yo, this nigga's really on one. Because, I was, young pharaoh, he did a lot of talking or whatever, but I still thought he had some decent information. He was banging on people in the community. But up until now, I'm like, yo, forget it, man. This nigga, I'm about to throw him away. He don't even know what he's talking about, if you ask me. So I encourage a lot of people that want to bang on Sinetta to go find that Anubis document, the Anubis bill that you shot when he was in New York City. He talks about it, and it busts the whole thing open when he's talking about Satan and the etymology on Satan.
I got it. And I was getting ready to throw it up. I got it. See, I'm getting ready to get this that nobody got yet. And I'm getting ready to throw this up. This is with me and Bobby Hemmitt right here. And I'm getting ready to throw this up. See, I've been throwing up some stuff.
You got the archives to throw his ass under the dirt. So
yeah, this
here.
You
got everything on wax.
Yeah, this right here is dealing with the assassination of black leaders, where he go in on Khalid Muhammad, on Malcolm X, on Martin Luther King, on Fred Hampton. Bobby Hemmitt goes in on this video right here.
Right.
And see, a lot of people, I got shit that nobody's seen, man. This one right here, spiritual warfare. You know what I'm saying?
Today, I was like, yo, I never seen that before.
Yeah.
With you and the kids, with Bobby on the couch.
Yo, that's my check this out. That's my son and daughter, brother, when they was 5 years old. That's Africa and Asante. They 18 years old today, brother.
Know.
You see what I'm saying?
The young king, I already know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That was a minute ago. Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
right.
All right, man. Keep doing the work, so
Thank you, brother. Peace, family.
I just wanted to add that.
All right. Thank you. Peace.
Call from.
Peace and Black Power, family. What's your name and where you calling from?
It's been real. Calling from Indiana.
All right. We got brother Alim and the Queen in the building right now. What's happening, brother?
I just want to know, I have several questions. Why are we spreading disinformation? Why are we glutting at high speed on false premises? I have proof that several assertions that he made is false, and he built a whole presentation off of it. Also, why are we throwing around Hindu religion? A bunch of terms were Hindu religion, and then the connections to Lucifer between electromagnetic energy supplied in the Eastern system that he references is totally false. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole litany of things.
Okay, so what's your question, brother? Let's get with it. Talk to it.
Okay. The question is, if he willing to show citations for his slide and stand up accountable for the source of the information that he's supplying, first of all. Because, for instance, I seen one, it was a slide where he was talking about R.A. Schwaller, which is a French mystic from the 19th century. But then when he ends the slide, he talked about Dr. Ben putting in his book. And that wasn't no Dr. Ben. And it clear as day said R.A. Schwaller. Another slide, it said Albert Pike. It came from Albert Pike, right? Why are you feeding this to the people? How are these sources good?
bruh.
Okay, listen to your monitor. He's gonna tell you. I'm gonna leave you on phone. I ain't gonna hang up.
If you paid attention, was the fact that Dr. Bennett had the exact same picture of what Tualik Lubix had in his book, in the Temple of Man. Dr. Bennett had the exact same picture in his book. That's all I was saying.
Oh, he ran, brother. He done ran and hung up quick. I mean, you was right and exact, brother Alim. I seen it. Everybody's seen it. You showed the resemblance, and you showed it. So I don't know what part he seen. You know,
that's that GMO food.
Yeah.
Okay. We got some questions.
All right, we got some questions over here too.
All right, go ahead, brother Alim. Go ahead. Ask your question.
Who are Damon and Beelzebub?
All right. So let's look. The word Beelzebub, what it means in quote unquote Hebrew/Greco language, Beelzebub means the Lord of Flies. All right. So that's what Beelzebub means, the Lord of Flies. All right. Now, if you watch the movie Green Mile, John Coffey, JC, what would JC do? What Jesus Christ do? Because that's what his JC, the letters, his acronym meant. Whenever he took in the negative energy of someone, he released the energy by releasing that of what looks like flies into the air, right? So Beelzebub symbolizes negative energy, okay? The Lord of the Fly, right? Now, let's look at Daemon or demon. The word daemon or demon is derived from Atum, or known as Adam in your Bible, but Atum is where Adam is derived from in ancient Kemet or Kemetic or Sumerian teachings. His name was Atum, Atum. Damon, other name became, or should say Atum, other name became Amen. Okay, so Amen, which meant the same in which that Christians, Muslims, and Jews say at the end of their prayers, is where the word daemon is derived from. D-A, right? M-O-N or D-E-M-O-N or D-A-E or D-E-A-M-O-N. However you want to spell it. All right? So daemon is derived from Amen, all right, from the ancient scripts. They demonize the Amen priests. The priests who worship Amen, they became known as the daemons or demons, right? But Amen is simply the hidden substance or the hidden force. That's all the daemon is the hidden force. Just like the word occult simply means hidden. But yet they demonize the term occult. All right, so this is just simply talking about forces in which that cannot be seen. All right, I mean, in the simplest format. All right, so that's my answer.
All right, then we have one more. Was light created before the sun?
Biblically, yes, light was created before the sun, because you're talking about Ein Sof and Ein Sophie Ein Sophie means the black light. So yes, black light was created before white light, or before the spectrum of light in which that created the visible spectrum and the stars in which that we now see. All right. That black light is, which is known as Ein Sophie is also, which is the Lord of the perfect black, which is talking about melanin. The Ein Sof and the Ein are talking about black matter and dark energy. All right. And then the third aspect, which is Ein Sophie is melanin. Okay, so those are the three states that are above what we call Kether on the tree of life, which symbolizes the crown. Okay, so yes, light existed before visible spectrum light, which is black light.
Okay. Oh, who was Leviathan?
Leviathan is the old serpent, which is talking about when the Kundalini is resting within the base root chakra. That's the old serpent. All right. In order to renew the serpent, it must shed its skin to become the new serpent. Hence, it must be born again. So you must put legs back upon that serpent. It must not be slithering in the earth or slithering on the land any longer, which is the old serpent, the Leviathan, which is symbolic to the Kundalini being trapped within the lower self. You must raise that old serpent and transform it from the great old dragon or great red dragon, which is the Kundalini in the base chakra, and raise it to the crown chakra, become the Christ or caress, the anointed one, which is being anointed by Tahuti, which symbolizes reality, and Heru. All right. So Heru and Tahuti symbolizes wisdom and reality, in which that initiates you into knowledge of self, realization, as they refer to it as. Right, so that's the science behind that.
All right, too. We all want to say thank you so much. Super chats all night long. For the love and light. Also, too. Okay. Also, too, we have another question. What is the plum serpent, and who is Quetzalcoatl?
Quetzalcoatl is Gudamaz, also known as Kukulkan. All these are names throughout the Aztec, Incas, and Mayan Olmec traditions, in which that shows that the plume serpent is talking about the supreme energy within you that must be resurrected and make the energy fly. Once again, the serpent must be resurrected, hence must be taken from the lower self into the higher self, which is about Kundalini, the serpentine fire once again.
Okay, so I pulled up the super chat. Thank you so much, Amari Y. Patah Benu L, thank you so much, God. He's also a patron. We appreciate you. XN, we appreciate you too, God. Hope you love your birth chart.
She know.
Please forgive us. And then Sister Shahara.
Love life. Shahrazad.
And then Mr. Bombastic. Let's get it all.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right, let's get these callers in now. I mean, they was calling me off the chain. Here we go. We got somebody calling in. Let me plug this back up.
Call from.
Peace and Black Power family. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Judah Nazareth calling from Tokyo.
This is who?
Judah Nazareth calling from Tokyo.
Calling from Tokyo, Judas Nazareth. Are you a Hebrew, my brother?
Yes, I am.
How is it out there in Tokyo, brother? How is it out there in Tokyo? Is there a lot of black people out there?
Yeah, of course. We got brothers out here. Yeah, and sisters. They own businesses. They're doing good.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right, peace and black power to you. We got brother Alim in the building. What's happening?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the brother Alim. why do you brothers put out this information, brothers? Like full well you're teaching Hinduism. You know that chakra stuff is not real. You know the pineal gland only regulates the bio clock for sleep patterns. Do you know that the Israelites are the only ones called the gods? Do you know that Satan means adversary? Come on, brother. Why are you putting out this information, brother?
All right, now I need you to hold
Come
on.
brother. Now I already laid down. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I need you to hold on. I'm not gonna hang up on you. I want you to let him speak. Listen to your monitor because you can't hear him on the phone, and then I'll let you come back in. So, which question you want to ask him first, and then I'll let you go ahead on with him.
Let's go with the Satan first. Why is he giving the false interpretation for the word Satan?
What does it mean to you? What is Satan for you, brother? So he understand where you're coming from.
The word Satan is falsely. There's no such thing called Hebrew language. It's from the Yahweh language or Aramaic, and it means adversary only.
Okay, brother Alim, you ready?
Okay. Go ahead. Okay.
You ready to address that, Alim? Okay, let's listen to the monitor, brother, and then I'm gonna let you come back in and talk. Go ahead, brother Alim.
Okay. Right, real simple. The word Satan is derived, just like I said, from the word suit on. All right. So we're talking about suit on, which is an ancient Egyptian word, and I showed Sata, which was the serpent, which walked on legs. All right. This is the same concept that is found within Genesis, where it spoke about that before the serpent was slithering on the ground, he allegedly tricked Adam and Eve into eating the fruit from the tree of life. That is how the term adversary comes about. But that is the Aramaic or Hebrew interpretation. That is not the metaphysical meaning. There's two different things here. You're talking about the exoteric, which is the surface dwelling meaning, not the esoteric, which is the inner tradition meaning. And this is where the confusion comes in, that we're both looking at it from two different perspectives, two different states of consciousness. You looking at it from a historical, literal perspective. I'm looking at it more from a spiritual, inner traditional perspective, because I understand that everything which is talked about externally, whether it's talking about the planets in the sky or the books in which that you read, all of them ultimately have to come back to the human anatomy and what is dealing with the human body, the spirit, the mind, the soul.
You ready to try to deal with that, brother?
Tokyo, the people in the comments.
Come on, brother. You on the line. You still there, brother?
Okay, now I'm about to smoke dude's boots. First off, the word Satan.
Wow.
Hey, hold on. Let me ask you a question, brother. Because you said, why is you telling these lies? I want to know what type of Hebrew am I dealing with? Because you are an Israelite, am I right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you believe in Abraham and Adam and Eve and that these are real people, that they existed? I need to know what type of Hebrew I'm dealing with, because there's a lot of Hebrews that believe in different things. So are you one of those Hebrews that believe in all of that the sky is going to crack and men is going to come down from the sky with the chariots and the horse and stuff like that, brother?
And you supposed to rape your daughter?
No, sir. I'm a Nazarene.
Okay.
Which means we deal with science. Okay. So we deal with science, math, and geometry. I'm sorry.
No, brother, you good. I want to I'm gonna need to interview you one day. I'm writing down your number, brother. On Hebrew.
I told you to come up there. It's like the whole Israelite community knows about the Torah Nights. That's my group. Now let me just get back to you.
Go ahead.
The word we deal with the temple, science, and mathematics, and geometry of the soul and the spirit, which is the mind. So we don't deal with outward stuff. We deal with science, math, and geometry. Right? So we call it temple science. All these Moors and all these dudes, they all steal the information from us. All that higher stuff, lower stuff, third degree, all that comes from my ancestors. When the so-called white man dug up our scrolls. They created Freemasonry, where these Moors get their information from, and they share with the so-called Muslims and the so-called white man and the Christians. They get it from my ancestors. Our ancestors were dealing with soul science.
So let me get it right, brother.
So
let me get it right. You are saying Freemasonry came from your ancestors, not Kemet. It ain't come out of Kemet or nothing?
No.
Oh.
No, it did not. It came from my ancestors.
Sinetta, he must
have. That's why I'm saying this brother's about to get smoked.
Also, Israelite.
Just to give a little clarification. First off, that whole thing in Genesis is talking about the mind. Okay? Like, it's talking about the mind. That serpent is the serpent within the self, and it represents the so-called white man and the serpent seed nations. Because as the brother stated, what is up is down, and what is inside is out. Now, you know what I'm saying? So as other brothers would know, sometimes the biggest enemy we have is within the self. Right? This brother knows that. No, I see brothers saying Hebrew Freemasonry. Freemasonry started in 1717 in London, brother. My ancestors go back thousands of years. And we had this science before the white man got out of the cave. Stop it, bruh. So I'm saying, no, I've seen this brother out here talking about Freemasonry and Masonry and all this and that. And he talks about the body. Brother, the body is nothing but dust. We are composed of bioelectric and plasma and iron and minerals and so forth and so on. We are spirit trapped in the flesh. Hold on, don't get all upset, brother. You know, when I get this talking to the Antichrist.
All right, hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. Check this out. Check this out. Are you still in the chat room?
Okay.
Are you still in the chat room? All right. You see my email? There go my email. Respond to my email, and I would like to. I like you, man, because you bringing something different that the other Hebrews are doing. Maybe I could set something up with you and another Hebrew, because we need to get this whole thing straight. So here's my email right here. Hit me up, and me and you gonna be able to go in, because this is something different. All right. Peace, my brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Shalom. All right.
So it's real simple, Si.
Hold on, caller. Go ahead, Alim.
The serpent symbolized the mind, an aspect of the mind. Exactly. I believe I said that. You know, and were we just talking about the physical body? No. We just did 2 hours talking about the mind, talking about the soul, talking about the spirit. You know, so I mean,
yo, somebody put in there, hey, brother Judas Nazareth. Somebody said you're a white man, which I really don't care. If you're a white man, that's all good. But is that true, brother? Yes or no? Oh, okay. Somebody said, nah, he black. They playing games. Peace and Black Power family. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, this being real. Y'all played me. I ain't running off. He ain't answering my question, G. He ain't answering me.
You back, man?
He ain't answering me.
I think he did answer you, brother. Because
bro,
he showed you where Dr. Ben, hold on. He showed you where Dr. Ben had the same pictures in his book. That's what he was talking about. He showed it.
It's in the black man family of the Nile.
We don't play scholarships out there. You remember me is a doctor line too. I was on the line with you and I gave polite the flip. And y'all blocked me out there. I gave polite the flip on Israel Doctor Show years ago. Y'all scared? Why you scared me this time?
All right, go ahead. Ask Brother Alim the question again, brother. Ask him another question.
Okay. First of all, right? You said Satan is a proper name, right? Based on this spurious etymology you kicking, right? But when we look in the Hebrew language, the word is not a proper noun like dude is saying. And then you connected it with the serpent in Genesis, but that serpent is called Nakish, not Hasatan, which again, Hasatan just means a generalized adversary. That can be anything.
Well, then it's the same thing.
Then you connect that with Lucifer, which is only mentioned in the book of Isaiah, and the name for that in Hebrew is Hillel, which refers to, most scholars will agree that refers to an actual physical person who was a king in Babylon. So why are you conflating these three things, and do you have any academic sources that can refute what I'm saying, going straight into the Hebrew language of the source of the text that you're referencing? Not any side stuff from any other source, but from the actual primary source. Can you show me that in the Hebrew that I'm lying?
Brother, the primary sources that I use was the primary sources that I use.
Going against the anti-African Hebrew before y'all started.
All right,
brother.
All right, let the brother answer you. Let the brother answer you and listen to the monitor. I'm gonna keep you
I
on.
used was in the presentation. In other words, I use ancient Egypt, Kemetic, Sumerian philosophy, showing you the mythologies behind it, and showing you what they really meant based on the ancient Egyptian, not the Hebrew, because the Hebrew came after the ancient Egyptians, who were the Atlanteans, who was also the Lemurians, right? We don't get the Hebrews until, let's say, 3,000 years ago. But we talking about the Atlanteans, which is 50,000 years ago. Talking about the Lemurians, 90,000 years ago, in which they inherit the information. The Egyptians or Kemites or Sumerians inherit the information from them, in which that's why they're the ones that have the information still on the walls today. And brother, I can't go and find the information that you're talking about on any wall or on any. The handwriting is not on the walls, but the handwriting is on the walls in ancient Egypt. We can go there. All right, Dr. Ben has been there many times,
brother.
Has been there many times.
Hold on, Alim. Let me give this brother some wisdom.
Professor James
quitting while you ahead, brother, ain't the same as just quitting. So I suggest, brother, you quit now, brother. Why you ahead? Quitting while you ahead ain't the same as just quitting, brother. Quit while you ahead. If you want to set up something where I could have a nice discussion between you two brothers, I'll do it.
He's talking around my question. First of all, how can
you
say that where is Lucifer mentioned in Egypt, yo? Where is Lucifer in Egypt?
How would you show that in the
where is
presentation?
Where is Lucifer in Egypt, Alim?
I already showed it. That's Heru.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. He already showed it. That's Heru. He said.
Already showed it. That was Heru.
Okay,
and
so
then
Lucifer is Heru now.
Hold on.
Venus in Greek.
And I showed you how in Hebrew it became Uriel. You're talking about Lucifer, which is in Latin. So now either you will be Hebrew.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother.
You're going to be Hebrew or you're going to be a Roman. Which one you going to be today? All right. So if you want to know who Lucifer is, that's in Roman. All right. Now in Latin. Now if you want to know who Uriel is, that's in Hebrew. Uriel is the fire god, which is equivalent to the Egyptian or Kemetic Sumerian Heru.
Come on, brother. Hey, brother. I think you better leave this alone, bro. You're in over your head, brother. You're in over your head, brother.
Nah, his logic flow.
No, it's not.
All right. Do you want to set something up? Yes or no?
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Because it's lagging on my monitor.
Yeah. But nah, brother. I mean, you need to go do a little more research. We here though. We are here.
No, you ain't let me talk. You ain't let me talk.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go in. Go ahead, brother.
Let me linguistically, okay, academically. How can you say, okay, that this came so many years before the Hebrew, but there is no exact reference to any linguistic context?
Bro, do you know that speech is 90,000 years old?
But other people think that Jesus is Hebrew. And I've seen other presentations on this same channel where so-called black have made.
Hold up, Alim. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you get it in. Go ahead, let him get it out.
And then when they have made it Hebrew, listen, when they have made it Hebrew, they use the same outdated white sources, which is my point, which come from cursed graves, 13 crucified saviors. The same thing that they put in that zeitgeist, and y'all keep repeating the same pseudo information from white scholars, and you never say exactly where you get it from the primary sources. Show me some middle letter that say Lucifer. Show me where your translation is. You're not going to because you're lying.
All right. Let him go. All right, hold on, brother.
That is false.
All right, let the brother talk. Let the brother talk.
You know what's interesting to me? What's interesting to me?
All right, let the brother talk, brother. Go ahead, Alim.
I ain't look around stuff. I said specifically that Heru is where the source of your Luciferian story comes from in ancient Kemet, and the Lucifer in which that you talk about is Latin, Roman. And if you want to go back to Hebrew, since you claim to be a Hebrew, then you use the term Uriel, which means the fire fire of God. All right, Uriel was once a higher angel, and he fell and became the ruler over hell. And I show that in the book called the Dictionary of Angels. But see, you missed that. See, if you're not on here the whole time, please don't call with ignorant questions if you didn't see the whole lecture. All right.
All right.
Nobody knew how ignorant you was until you opened your mouth. But I see why we're not further along as a people. We want to be argumentative. We want to fight each other. We can find a problem, but the solution, that's why we in the situation we in. All the way from Tokyo. It's foolishness.
But that wasn't the one. That was the other one too.
Yo, all of y'all, for real.
Khadija be getting turned up, brother. That's the fire right there, Alim.
Yeah,
they need to put some water on it. We got a whole bunch of fire for fighting each other. But in the meantime, these motherfuckers can kill our kids.
All right. Peace and Black Power. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Brother Unk. I'm a Raw Squad Up. So
all right, this is Brother Unk, the God Killer. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing, brother.
No, actually.
Brother, I know you. Come on, man. Hey, yo, Alim, you know Unk, right?
Yeah, peace, Brother Unk.
He said peace to you, Unk. You can't hear him.
Peace. Oh, yeah. No, actually, I was enjoying the build. I mean, Alim was definitely one of my first teachers. So, you know what I mean? I ain't going to disrespect him at all.
Right.
But what I would say is that the Hebrew brother that called in, that one before last from Tokyo, he said a few things he was right and exact. Right?
Okay.
About the pineal gland. He was right about that and about the meaning of it. And then he went off course, ran off in the left field somewhere, ready to get beat up, sounding crazy. So it's just a lot of mixing and matching going on. Alim explained, he said he was dealing with the metaphysical aspect of it.
Right.
All right, so you gotta let him have that. You know what I'm saying? But what I would say is the metaphysics ain't gonna never save the community. It's gonna always be science that was given to us, first reported in Africa. So I'm always stay on the science aspect of it. I mean, I just want y'all to keep building, keep doing what y'all doing. But at the end of the day, we classify a lot of that information as, just pseudo. It is what it is. Right. So, I don't start no trouble. But y'all
but the thing is this.
And you keep rocking out
we have Brother Unk Daman.
The likes of Alim Bey and them. That's what I'm gonna let y'all know.
Say that again.
At least I said that Alim Bey, Phil Valentine's, you know what I mean, and Bobby Hemmitt's, right? They perfected that type of information. The young pseudo in the wrong lane, they're gonna beat them up on that.
Right.
You definitely can't deal with them with that type of information.
Right.
He ain't nowhere in their league. That's why when he started talking early in the game about 2 years ago, I was like, bro, I done heard the likes of Alim Bey.
Yeah, you always said that.
Yeah, like you just stealing their stuff. Like, come on, dude. Like, no references, you ain't got no books. So, you know what I mean? So if the people gonna listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Not the young pseudo, yo. He crazy, yo. He trying to act like he just came up with something new.
Right.
They beat him up. They need to go ahead and deal with that. Need to get them all together in the same room and go ahead and get that in.
All right, my man.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Peace, brother.
Shout out to you, Alim.
Peace,
respect to you, bro. Keep rocking.
God.
All right.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
Call from Bastet.
Peace and Black Power family. What's your name and where you calling from?
Peace and Black Power. This is Bastet Offset.
All right. Hold on. Say that again. Your name is what?
Bastet Offset.
Oh, Bastet Offset. That's a powerful name, sister.
Thank you.
All right. We got Brother Alim in the Brother Alim Bey in the building. What's your question for him? All your statements you got.
All right. I got a question and a statement. My first statement was I agree with I feel like this is pseudo because we know that Kemetic mythology isn't supposed to be taken literal. And I just hope that he's not saying that Haru / Baphomet really exists. It's a principle. I get it. But I really don't understand why we stuck on that. But my question is, did he hear the audio? Because we were supposed to be talking about young Pharaoh, so I wanted to know, did he hear the audio of Bobby Hemmitt saying out his mouth that the homosexuals was the gatekeeper of the spiritual realm? I have the audio, and I want to put it in the chat.
Can you play it?
Yeah, I already answered that
I'll try
question.
to play it. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it because I'm using my phone, but I can put the audio in the chat too if you want me to. But let me know if you can hear it.
Go ahead.
Can you hear it? Can you hear that?
No.
Okay, let me see if I can play it on my TV. Give me hold. All right, hold up. Let me try to play it on my TV. But I could put the link in the chat if you want me to.
Okay.
You want me to do that?
Yes, you can do that.
All right, let me do that right now.
And see,
then, will you be able to play?
Go ahead.
Will you be? Huh?
Go ahead. Say what you were saying.
The chat. So, are you able to play it?
Not in the chat.
All right, how you want me to do this? I want you to be able to hear the audio. So I'm gonna just play it in my background. Hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Yep, and I just want them to elaborate on it and let me know if they agree with it because you know.
Now, sister, let me say something to you, sister, real quick. You know, you can't just play a piece. You got to go to the beginning of what he's talking about, so you can really understand. Now, you know, especially dealing with Bobby Hemmitt. Yeah. Don't think you can play a little soundbite and thinking you understand what Bobby is talking about now.
Yeah, no.
You know, because Bobby be talking for like 6 hours, 7 hours sometime.
Right.
And you know, you got to really understand what he's talking about. So go ahead and play it.
Okay, hold up. Let me see if it'll start at the beginning. Let me know if it's too loud or whatever, if I need to adjust the sound.
I got you. Go ahead.
It's loading. I apologize. Damn. I'm so sorry. Damn, I wasn't even ready. I apologize.
It's all right. While you getting ready, let me ask you, Brother Alim, what does the word pseudo mean? What is pseudo? What does the word pseudo mean for the people that always hear this word?
Right. Well, number one, it allegedly means false. Okay. However, I don't think anywhere in my lecture for the last
No, I'm not talking to you, sis. I'm talking to Alim.
You still ain't listening.
I don't think in any of the last 2 hours lecture did I make mention of the fact that Heru was a physical man or Lucifer or any individual that was spoke of being an individual.
Now, the reason I asked you that, my brother, is because I want to say this. We use the word pseudo so loosely, don't even knowing that all of us, everyone in the world, your grandmaster teachers, your scholars, everybody in the world gets pseudo at some point in time. And the reason I'm saying that, and I can back myself up when I say that, is because to not be pseudo is to be perfect and exact and right on everything that you're talking about. But we know that none of us is right and exact 100% on everything. Why? Because we don't know everything. So we are still learning. And this is why you find brothers like Dr. Ben and Francis Cress Welsing always revising their books. You see? Why do you think they revise their book? Because they say, oh, well, that wasn't right. Let me change that and put that in there. Because we all can get pseudo at some point in time. So we need to stop saying that. To not be pseudo is to be right and exact on everything, and we not that. Thank you. That's all I want to say.
Well, so look, let's look at it like this.
I love Bobby Hemmitt. I love Bobby Hemmitt. It's just that, you know, when this was brought to my attention, I couldn't rock with it. And it's playing, it's trying to play now. So you want me to go ahead and try to play it?
Yes, go ahead, sis.
Okay, hold up. All right, here we go.
Now, sir, you know I already answered this question, right?
Huh? Say that again, Alim?
I said, you know I already answered this question, right?
Right, I know.
And there's people in the aspect of the homosexuality or just say gay. And you first see this, you go, oh, man, that's the bullshit. But then again, on the other hand, if you study the history of us just being in this country, some of the people that was key in our revolution and liberation was gay or, bisexual. So this means we need to look real close into this type of thing and say, because we're not talking about religion here. Religion, tells you all this thing. We're not into this right and wrong and do it, no. Because we don't know what a motherfucker doing in there. It's so personal. So it's really a stupid question for you to try to regulate what a person do in private. You understand what I'm saying? When you really look at this type of thing, when you really look at this type of thing, and I have to really look at these things because when we're dealing with that, we're dealing with this God that's leading us, which is the God of the heart chakra. So they don't deal on morality and these social structures. They deal on what motherfucker got the light. And it's interesting here because there's people like, and I said, let me think about this, because it was Kwame Ture. He said that what if gays, everything is political, but they're trying to get a political structure. They came in here and said, we want you to head up the gay thing, because sometimes people get killed with gay bashing. He said, well, I can't do that. He said, why? He said, that's not my culture. He said, what do you mean by that? He said, look, we knew that James Baldwin was gay, but he was helping us in the struggle. Right. And nobody tripped, because when the shit came down, black people was humane enough to go say, look, because that shit really matters. See what I'm saying? Now, you get into this religion, that's fine, control. Yeah. You deal with a doctor, somebody, you know what I'm saying? He said, so that ain't our thing. He said, we don't have no problem back there. You see what I'm saying? People up now, I said, well, that's interesting. James Baldwin. Then Byron Rustin. Here's a man who basically was the architect of the whole Marshall Washington. Not only that, you don't understand the role he played. He had to train Martin Luther King, all the training people. He had to train him on how to go into Mississippi and Alabama and not get killed. Because this so-called gay person did it 10 years, 15 years before. In the 40s, but it was unheard of. This was before they even killed Emmett Till. He was going down in Mississippi and Alabama doing protest, and he had to tell them how to go in. This is the man who taught Martin Luther King how to go into Alabama, Mississippi, and not get their ass killed. He was crazy. So you got to look at that and say, right, and the Spirit is saying about this. The Spirit is saying, look, this shit here is not about what a person is doing physically. It's about who got the light. So in Africa, they were talking about the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers, they said it's supposed to be bisexual. And but I know it's on that saying, it's also in the Voodoo Gnostic workbook. It talks about about $4,000-$500 given on the internet now, order it. The Voodoo Gnostic workbook, the gatekeepers. I said reception. The gatekeepers is saying, because they're having a bisexual nation, they were able to see things from another perspective. You see what I'm saying? And so, now, coming from religious training and all this other shit like this and all, yes, you can find a lot of things that I ain't been all that.
Bobby Hemmitt is 100% correct what he's talking about. I don't know what y'all hearing. He right.
So, hold up. You said you don't know what I'm hearing. I just heard Bobby Hemmitt say the gatekeepers are supposed to be bisexual. So you agree with that?
No, I'm listening to what Bobby said. Bobby said, no, if you listen to it, he's saying, they saying. He's telling you what they saying. That's why I said you got to really listen to what Bobby talking about. He said they saying that they supposed to be the gatekeepers and this is what he's saying. You got to listen to it again. He's telling you what they are saying. And he is right. And he is right.
He's saying the gatekeepers are bisexual because they can see from another side. Like they can master their feminine and their masculine energy. If you play this back, you'll hear the same thing. I could go back a couple of minutes and he says that. Like, I don't I can't agree with that. I love Bobby Hemmitt.
Now, hold on. Let me ask you a question. You said that he said that because they can master what?
I'm gonna run it back a little bit so you can hear it. I don't want to put no words in the guy's mouth.
No. I heard it. I just want to hear what you're saying. Go ahead. I heard it.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let me pause it. My bad. He was saying that he just said it. They are able to see things from another perspective.
And that is true. But sister, that is true. They can because they bisexual. We are not. We heterosexual. You see, we don't see things on both sides like they do. You see what I'm saying? They can see that other freaking side. We don't go that. We ain't doing that. I don't know. See, but this is deeper than. What do you think, Alim?
Bobby,
hold up, don't go nowhere, sister.
Bobby Pacific.
Crazy.
Yeah, Bobby specifically said that.
Listen, sister, listen to your monitor while Alim speak. Go ahead, brother.
If you're stuck in religion, that's what I've been hearing all night from these callers. They're so religious minded, they might want to take their asses back to Christianity. You know, that's what's really going on. Because they still have the same mindset as Adam and Eve being real, Jesus on the cross. All these things are still so embedded in their psyche that they believe that it's real in some form and fashion, and take the same ideology that they once had in Christianity and bring that shit into metaphysics and into the occult, into the esoteric sciences. Bobby is talking from an esoteric perspective based on books that he read, as well as also I gave the name of the book. The book is by Domo Somé, and in the book, his second book is Out of Water and Fire. I can't remember the name of his second book, but in that book, he spoke about Somé, who's an African who was initiated into his particular order in Africa, said that. And Bobby read a passage in which that Somé spoke of, and then he correlated that information to Alex Baldwin and different other ones who was in the civil rights movement. He just simply saying, look, if we're going to grow into a metaphysical consciousness, we can't be concerned about what people are doing in their bedroom. We had to be concerned more about us becoming enlightened in our manner in which that we all choose, because it's a perspective that we have to choose in order to become God-like. Not looking outside of yourself is not going to get that. That's what Bobby is saying.
Now, we know, I know for a fact, and I'm quite sure Alim knew. No, it ain't crazy, sister. Check it out. Bobby Hemmitt don't promote gay stuff. Bobby Hemmitt had nothing but beautiful women. I know that. Bobby had beautiful women. You see what I'm saying? So come on now, sis. That's all I'm saying. And Daniel Allah, I see you in the chat room talking about shaking your head.
You don't gotta.
Go ahead, sister.
All I gotta say, you don't have to be bisexual to get in touch with both energies. Like I'm a female, and I get very in touch inside. You know, I have to be bisexual to do that shit. So I don't think we should be promoting that shit in our community. You see, your Ruhu or your Huru, whatever, however you say it. They got all these gay people in their movements, nail crackers in their movements. We don't need that shit. That's destroying. They got all these gay people in their movements now. In the atmosphere, it's like open to some freaky ass shit. Like, we're not about to be on that Greek shit. Like, that shit's crazy. Like,
I think you're wrong, sis. You think Bobby Hemmitt is trying to put you on Greek stuff? See, that's how I know y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. You just don't understand what Bobby is saying.
Don't let him get you. Don't let him get you.
Go ahead. What you got to say?
Hey, sis, let me say something. Hey, sis, the sister's absolutely right.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna sit around here and play this little game when it comes to that. He made it seem as though a bisexual has some type of connection. The truth is, a person's sexuality ain't got shit to do with that. That's that person's sexuality. Let's keep it 100, man. Y'all playing too much around here.
Y'all not familiar with the word?
Bobby Hemmitt clearly said that a bisexual has some kind of type of advantage. No, a bisexual sleeps with a man and a woman. That's what a bisexual does. Plain and simple.
And so what Bobby Hemmitt say, what Bobby Hemmitt say,
he was making a statement. See, that's where all the physical stuff coming from, right? Based off Europeanism, talking about, well, the fact that you're gay or the fact that you're bisexual, you see both perspectives. What perspective are you talking about? That's your sexual orientation. You dealing with men and you dealing with women. Cut and dry. Let's not spice it up. We're not going to do that around here. We can play the metaphysical game, but we ain't going to take the spice it up game. Everybody does the crap. Now, I know exactly what pseudo means. And I understand what pseudoscience means. Pseudoscience is something that looks like science, but it's not real legitimate science. Okay? Pseudo means not real, not legitimate. So at the end of the day, ain't never saved the black community because we're still in the same position. If we take a good hard look at ourselves and deal with the everything we can, which is scientific literacy, right? And economic literacy, you know what I'm saying? Then we might get the community straight. But we can go ahead and float through the clouds, right? Talk that sexual nonsense, throwing in crazy references. We're not going nowhere. And that's all I gotta say. I don't want to mess up y'all show because y'all float.
Nobody on here is homosexual or bisexual.
All right, Alim, what do you think about that? I think they missing it. I think Unc is dealing on a mundane level. So I think Unc be missing it. You know, Unc don't deal with the spirit realm. Unc deals on the mundane level. So a lot of our people deal with right here on the ground. They don't deal with the spiritual realm. They haven't read the books that Bobby read. I don't think Bobby is trying to take us to no goddamn gay shit. So I know they wrong on that. So what do you think, brother?
Well, I mean, remember, this is the brother who exposed the gay boule in Hollywood.
Go ahead. I got that on my channel right now, where y'all can go and see that. Where he went in on the inside of the gay boule. Come on,
this is the brother who exposed it, and not just that. David Chappelle got exposed to his information, and he helped David Chappelle take his ass back to Africa and not put on the goddamn dress.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Bobby is not promoting that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all wrong for that one.
Yeah, he's trying to explain where this information came from and that there was individuals in the movement and the civil rights. Now, we know that Irritated Genie did a video recently. Well, it was a couple of years ago where he exposed Alec Baldwin and Ruskin and different other ones for being homosexual and bisexual and so forth and so on. Bobby explained that and exposed that also. And he was saying that they was in the movement, and they were in the movement. And I don't think it was glorifying it, but hell, I've done read a couple of books by Alex Baldwin. By Your Next Time, you know what I'm saying, was one of the first ones I read by him. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yes, he was. Hell, but I mean, how many babies was produced off of Luther Vandross shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, how many, babies was produced off of Tevin Campbell? You know? So, so that's what he's saying at a more universal level. He just talking about the mundane level. He understands the mundane level. Hell, Bobby wasn't practicing that. Hell, Bobby got Linda. Hell, you see, I'm with mine right now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're not perpetuating that shit.
What we're doing is distracting us in the meantime.
You know what I'm saying?
We build.
Right,
We rather fight each other.
Yeah, what it is they just twisting his words. They don't know what the hell he's talking about. They not on that same level. So come on, man. I know better than that. Bobby do not promote no gay shit, and that's not what he was talking about. Y'all just missed it. That's all. Everything that he was saying, you got caught on one thing when they talked about gay, and y'all missed the shit. That's all it is. Simple as that. I disagree with Unc, and I disagree with the sister. So, it is what it is.
Call from
Brother Kenneth.
Peace and Black Power family. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace and blessings, brother. So I'm calling from Napka Playa, Indianapolis.
What's going on, man? We got Alim and the Queen in the building. What's happening?
I want to give Brother Alim a high five and tell him get down with the get down and keep getting down with it. some of these other callers, man, Sai and Brother Alim, what the problem is, these youngsters, they need some teachers, man. They haven't had any teachers to school them in the right thought, the right mind, and the right process. I met Bob Hemmitt quite a few times here. I'm also a seer. I've been in the martial arts since I was 9 years old. I'm 52 now. And some of the things that Brother Alim is talking about, it also goes into the martial arts. So when you're dealing with the 7 chakras, we can also tie that into the 9 levels of power, like the 9 things that we have orbiting this planet, or 999, which is 666, also another term for the slave ships. When they threw people overboard, they would put on the manifest 999, meaning, okay, we won't get that $100 for the slave, but go ahead and give us 50. And if you go into like some of these teachings, these brothers and sisters, man, they are backwards, brother, because all of this knowledge is ours, man. All of this knowledge is ours, from the Kundalini to even the ninjas had the 9 levels of power, Sha, Ra, Ba, Ka. And when you get into in Walter Ashby's book, and Walter Ashby talked about that, you go back into Antonio Banderas, when he played Zorro, he's standing in the circle, and the old master told him that, hey, when the student is ready, the master will appear. Nothing exists outside of this ring until I tell you to. It exists. And when you go into the Sorcerer's Apprentice, you will also see him standing on that circle, and he is taught that you practice all your spells in here, you learn new spells, and you practice these spells here. You need the special shoes that you have to wear in order for your power to extend itself. It doesn't even stop there. Same thing they were telling you in Doctor Strange. Dr. Strange was working this magic, and all of a sudden, the Sorcerer Supreme says, whoa, wait a minute, you cannot practice that magic outside of this realm here. It took him into another dimension and said, this right here is where you practice those spells. I was reading the Metal Netter. I was looking in the Metal Netter, and no matter how hard these people try to hide these things, I come into consciousness by the martial arts.
All right. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. We got to move forward and get some more callers before we close up shop.
All right. Right on, brother. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Hey, brother Alim, we're going to take 2 more callers, man, and then I'm going to let you close out, all right?
Okay.
Because we got 3 hours in and 7 minutes. All right. So we're going to take 2 more callers, man, and we're going to close this thing out.
But as you're taking the calls,
ahead,
let me say, all right, number 1, I made mention of the Hindu, but if you notice, I tied it back to the ancient Kemetic philosophies, as I tied everything back to the ancient Kemetic philosophy. All right.
Right.
So that was the science in which that if you paid attention, you would have learned something tonight. And the reason why the ancient Kemetic philosophy is because, number 1, the handwriting is still on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There is no Solomon temple, unless you're talking about the physical body, because Solomon did not physically exist. Sorry. All right. David didn't exist. Adam and Eve didn't exist. Jesus didn't exist. All right. All of that is talking about aspects of yourself. Heru, as I made mention of, is talking about your soul, your awakened soul. Right. Your sleeping soul is Asar. Your Kundalini, as they refer to it, is Aset. In her fiery form, she is called Segmite. When she's at balance at the heart chakra, she is known as Mayat. All right? These are all metaphysical, occult, esoteric sciences, and the explanation of the mythologies of ancient Kemet. All right? So that's what this is talking about. All right? So understand, I do not believe that any of this in which they be talked about is an individual, but it is all of us as individuals who obtain these various states of consciousness and awakening states. That's what we're talking about. All right.
All right, we're gonna take 2 more callers. Yeah, Unc funny. That was Unc calling me, telling me he made a mistake. I'm like, see, I told you, brother.
You went and listened to it.
Yeah.
Call from
Brother Oba.
Peace and Black Power family. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Brother Oba. What's going on?
You tell me. We got Brother Alim and the Queen in the building. What's happening?
Yeah, this is Brother Oba.
What's happening,
You don't remember
Oba?
me? What's going on?
What's your question, Brother Oba? Is this
just wanted
Oba? Is this the Oba that killed the chicken, sacrificed the chicken?
Yeah, man.
Of course I remember you then. Hold on. Is this the Brother Oba that came on 125th Street and you had the chicken?
Yeah.
Serious, brother. Come on, man. Is this my Brother Oba?
Yeah.
Oh, man. What's going on, brother?
Peace and Black Power. What's going on?
Everything good, man. Everything good.
Yeah. We try to, seeing what y'all doing. I mean, I think the conversation is redundant at this point.
Okay.
You know what I mean? About what's legitimate and all of that. I mean, we have to deal with what is available and what's working for us. Right? And we have examples in places like the Republic of Benin and places like Cuba where they stick to a traditional mindset of religion, and they have successfully warded off the superpowers of the world. Right? In Benin, there's an 80% traditional population. The actual president is an actual initiate. He's the king. You go to Cuba, and it's the same thing. Castro defeated 12 American presidents, right? So we look at places that are examples of where this magic that we keep talking about, where it is being applied.
Exactly.
And so it's kind of redundant that we keep going over the same information that Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and all of these people spent their lives.
Well, what about this, Oba? What about this? I think we make a mistake when we say it's redundant when we go over the information. And the reason I say that is because this is a new generation that never heard Dr. Ben, that never heard of Brother Oba, or that never heard of A.A. Rashid or Alim. You see? So I wouldn't say redundant. We got to keep it going because we forget so quick. So yeah, man, we forget so quick, and we gotta go ahead, brother.
We need advancement.
Okay.
I understand the information. I'm not saying that the information is not valid. We all understand that. This is scholarship that has already been done. So we understand the roots of Islam and its relationship to Africa. We understand the contributions of civilization that were given to us by ancient Kemet and Nubia and Kush and the Sumerians. But what is applicable to us now? What separates us from the Jew, from the Roman Catholic, all of these people who have power? See, the one thing that when you look at religion, and it's when people start to talk about a creed, they have institutions that serve their culture. So you have Catholic school, right? And the Catholic school has a hospital, and then they have Catholic nursing homes. They have geriatrics for their old people. The Jews do the same thing. They have the yeshiva school, right? They have universities. They have industry for their people. The same with Islam. So for Black people to necessarily come up, because we keep talking about a race, but these other people are defining their ethnicities based on who they perceive God to be. Okay? And that's what unifies these people. That's the story of the Jews.
The 12 tribes come together to fight against the Philistines. They come up under one umbrella. We're going to fire his Yahweh. Before that, they got a whole bunch of different names. And now they're going to settle on Yahweh. We got one common goal.
But check this out, though, Brother Oba. In today's world, you know, it's impossible right now for the Hebrews to come together under one umbrella because there's so many different schools of thought. You see, they are more divided. I mean, even, and I'm not just saying the Hebrews, I'm also talking about those who study ancient Kemet, those who study Islam. It got to be something out there. I mean, something out there that said that this was going to happen. You got Kemetics divided against each other, the Hebrews. You got Muslims that don't believe in the same thing that are divided. So we know what we got to do, but it's easier said than done. Go ahead.
But none of those creeds came with us over here on the ship.
I agree.
If you look at genealogically where the slaves were taken from, and we're not even gonna get into the whole Aboriginal conversation because that's a whole nother thing. Because what you have to understand is a lot of this research has been done and is read under Latin or French, right? So people can't read beyond that. So we don't really have a true timeline of what history really is, because there's a concept that there was a world war going on, and some of us were actually prisoners of war. But that's beside the point. The fact is that the majority of the people that were brought to here to the Western Hemisphere come from certain parts of Africa. They come from West Africa and Central Africa. We see this in the Caribbean, that even in their traditional cultures, they have a combination of Kikongo, and Yoruba, Senegalese, Ghanaian traditions, right? So now, if that's what came up over here with us, and it was maintained in the Caribbean based on the fact of just politics. The Roman Catholics allowed the slaves to have a little bit more culture than the Protestants do. So the people on the continent, we got a little less of our Juju that we get to keep, right? What I'm saying is the other theories are theories that come about in the black man's pursuit for legitimization in America. So, you know, when everybody starts talking all this moral shit, that's to separate themselves from being having ancestors that may have been slaves. Because, you know, the ego doesn't allow one to be like, oh, well, I would have never been out there picking cotton. No, your ancestors were bred a certain way, and
your
slavery was
ancestors
instilled in them. And
slaves.
this is the result. So what we do then is we start to look for other ways to define ourselves outside of, so now we're Aboriginals. My people wasn't slaves. Or now I'm a Moor, right? But these are not things that necessarily coincide with the history of who was brought over here. And the reality is the people that were brought here are Congo. When you look at the ancient African burial grounds in New York, those are Akan people from Ghana, right? So we're here having a conversation about Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt, and we're having a conversation about Zulu and all of this other stuff and what was going on with the Sumerians, and none of that has anything to do with the DNA that is within us, which is Congo and possibly Yoruba West African tradition. And
But
that's just a fact.
But you do know what it got something to do with, though, Baba? You hear me?
I'm listening.
It got something to do with the topic, and the topic is Brother Bobby Hemmitt. You see, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about Brother Bobby Hemmitt and his topic. Now, Baba, I mean, I would love to do an interview with you, brother. I got your number. I just wrote it down. I see it. I would love to give you a call sometime, probably tomorrow, and see if we can set something up where you come up with a topic and let's talk about it. What do you think, brother?
No, yeah, I'm gonna come up there soon. I'm gonna come up there soon. I got a book that's, you know what I mean, I'm putting in print right now. So
okay, all right, yo, I got your number. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna text you my number because you calling me on my Google number. I'm gonna text you my number. All right, brother.
Okay.
All right, peace,
Okay.
my brother. Appreciate you.
Peace and black power.
Peace and black power, brother.
All right.
Brother Alim, you remember Baba, right? Back in the day?
Call from
Baba came on 125th Street to sacrifice a chicken. And the thing is, if you're not ready to sacrifice your own chicken that you eat, nigga, you in problem. You're in trouble. See, we could go to the store and buy chicken all day. But what if we was out there in the woods? Are you ready to sacrifice a chicken? Are you ready to sacrifice a cow? Can you cut that cow's throat and, you know, do it? You pray over it first, the way the Muslim would teach you? Come on, man. Are you ready to do that? That's what Baba was going in on. So
see, you in the city, you in the country.
Yeah, come on now, sister. Don't tell me you done sacrificed a cow before.
We ain't talking about a cow. We talking about a chicken.
Oh, you?
Yeah, God. Yeah, God, I had to do that in 9. My grandma had me chasing the chicken around, and I had to twist his neck off.
Oh man.
His head. Yeah.
All right.
But also,
peace and Black Power family. You are the last caller. What's happening? What's your name? Where you calling from? Make this good.
Hold on, sign that up.
This is D Calico.
Hold on for a minute. Hold on, Calico. Hold on.
So we supposed to ignore the fact that my ancestors owned land and they actually shoed horses for everybody in the community. They was not slaves. So I'm supposed to just pretend.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Oh, you done?
That's what and my supposed to pretend that my ancestors were slaves. We still got land in our family right now because our ancestors was not slaves. You couldn't own land. My ancestors was traveling.
Now,
and I
hold
ain't
on,
dissing
Sister Khadija. Now,
slave,
hold on.
But my people was a slave.
Hold on. Come on now, Sister Khadija. Alim, what you doing, brother?
So I'm supposed to pretend that my ancestors were slaves when they wasn't.
No.
Okay.
No. They were prisoners of war, though.
My ancestors wasn't.
They wasn't?
No, God, my ancestors left my family land.
Oh, okay.
Also,
where did your ancestors come from? Did they come from Africa?
No, how about Pangea? You don't forgot all of them.
Okay. All right. I see what you're saying.
My ancestors existed before the Caucasian.
I got you, man. You're gonna do our own lecture next too. We're gonna do our own thing. But hold on. Peace and Black Power family. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, D Calico, calling from Tampa.
All right, D Calico. What's happening, man? Talk about it.
God, right there.
See what the Hebrews. I'm pretty sure most of them don't even realize.
I need you to talk up, brother.
I say what most of the Hebrews don't even realize is that there was a king, King Jerubim was the first king of Israel, and he united 10 of the 12 tribes. And Jerubim is where you get Yoruba from. So Hebrews originally practiced Yoruba before they went off into Spain and became all whited out and started this Christianity thing and gave all the crackers the exoteric science instead of the esoteric science. So those are the ones who really put us in slavery. When they say the Moors put us in slavery, it was actually those Hebrews that went into Portugal and started all the slavery. So I don't know why the Hebrews even coming on here all religious unless they coming with some Yoruba, because these niggas Christianized. I don't understand it.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Brother Calico.
Praise God.
All right, my brother Alim, close out. Sister Khadija, close out. And we got 3 hours in, man. I didn't even know it was going to be this long. 3 hours and a half. Damn. But let's go ahead, brother. Go ahead, Alim. You got the floor. Take your time. Take as long as you want. Do what you do, brother. Give them an overall of what we talked about today, what you proved today, and let's lay it down. That's it.
All right. Number one, anybody who studies the various religions, whether it's Yoruba, Congo, Ifa, which is the Akan, or the Vudan, they speak of the 7 African powers. Those are the 7 chakras, or Shinkaras, or Ritus, also known as the 7 daughters of Hathor, also called the 7 souls of Ra, also called the 7 seals that must be opened, also referred to as the 7 churches, okay, which are your endocrine glands. All right, case closed on that. Obviously, people have not done enough studies into African roots and the religions of Africa. They always state there's 7 African powers. And I spoke about the fact and showed the picture of Dambala, which is Haitian or dealing with the Vudan. And above his head were the 7 rainbows, the Roy G. Biv, and he symbolized the serpentine fire, which is called Kundalini within the Hindu or Sanskrit. Or you can try your fucking best all you want to try to separate yourself from the Hindu or Sanskrit teachings, but Dr. Khalid already said we want global people, okay? And that we just didn't exist on one spot. He said you gonna claim one spot or you gonna claim the whole goddamn thing. I'm like Dr. Khalid, I'm claiming the whole goddamn thing. So we ain't just in Africa, we're in Australia, we're as the Aborigines, we're in India as the Tamil Dravidian people or pre-Dravidian people. We're in South America as the Olmec descendants on up into Mexico and here into North America. We're in the Pacific Islands as the Samoans, the Hawaiians, and etc. We're all over the world. As I already said on my videotape, we're all over the world. And as I said it, we was all over the world. All right, I already told y'all that. And if y'all haven't paid attention, go and watch the video. So stop just trying to damn pigeonhole a nigga into just one particular country or continent when we spread out throughout the whole globe before the European and Asians was even on the planet. You talking about somebody who just got on the planet 6 goddamn thousand years ago.
Trying to be a slave, you want to hold on to being a slave.
How in the hell?
Hold on the problems instead of solutions. We then accumulated all this information, and what do we have as a people? You telling me we can't?
Hey, Alim, pass the mic. Let the queen close out, man. Let her go in, man. Don't put out that fire, baby.
All the other cultures can come together, but we can't. It's because we holding on to this foolishness. We holding on to the separation and the division. People call us all the time. What's the difference between you and them? Hold up. Let's stop focusing on the differences so we can build. Build. That's period. Build. I'm tired of us not having. I'm tired of us not having respect from other cultures just because we don't have it for our own. In the meantime, we're going to have the number one heart problem, the number one prostate problem. We're going to be always the ones complaining about the food, the water, and I'm just tired of it when we're supposed to be the most intelligent, the most elite. Let's stop focusing on foolishness and let's build. Our children need us to build. But no, building is not entertainment. No, we want to keep harboring our homosexuality and what Bobby done said almost 18 years ago. You can't take all or nothing. What you do is you take the best parts and you build. Let's stop beating our children for no reason. Let's stop working for the man. And if you do work for the man, we appreciate you. But damn, we need to be more creative. It's so much to do. And I'm frustrated because in the meantime, we out here getting slaughtered. 45 and them, they out here shooting. Baby, you done seen them videos where them children is out here shooting. They sharp shooters. They waiting for you to step out of line. And in the meantime, we're not prepared for nothing. I'm sorry. I ain't used to this foolishness. I'm telling you, this is the most ignorant platform I've ever seen in my life. Every time I come to this studio, it's like I never realized how ignorant our people are. I be so disappointed. I'm okay with my 1,200 views. Because I'm telling you, our people are peaceful. We adding on and we inspiring each other and we building. In the meantime, I'm tired of people following this foolishness. But that's okay. That's okay. We're going to sit up here and blow up on you. And while we 60 and 70 and 80 years old, y'all going to be the ones struggling. For real.
All right. Powerful right there. With that, Brother Alim, you good, brother? All right. Peace and black power. The queen got the last word. We out. Peace, like Khadijah.
Like war.
Peace, Brother Ali.
Feel like.
Hey, damn, I was about to say, damn, I got a powerful panel coming together Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon about 1 o'clock with the sisters. I have sisters coming on, and they want to have this discussion about R. Kelly. So, Sister Saralina, for those of y'all who are familiar with the Queen Saralina, go and look her up. If y'all don't know who Saralina is, she will be in the building on Wednesday. Dr. Ma'at will be here. Of course, we're talking about pedophilia, baby, because both of these sisters have been touched at some point, and they really want to go in. So we're going to give them the platform, and they're going to run it. And I don't know if Sister Khadija would like to come in. I know you probably saw the videos with R. Kelly, you know. So we're going to deal with some of that right there. All right, family?
Surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah, surviving R. Kelly. I heard R. Kelly is suing Lifetime now because he's suing them. He's suing them right now, baby. R. Kelly's suing their ass, so I don't know. Peace and Black Power. We out of here. Thank you, Brother Alim. Thank you, my sister Khadija. We out of here. Peace.
Out of here. Peace, God.
All right, family. There it is. We out of here. Like I said before, be looking for the. Oh man, I feel the sister. I feel Sister Khadija. She tired of our people's ignorance, man. I've been there already. I've been there. When I first came on YouTube, I was like, God damn, I didn't realize how far back our people were or is at this time. So yeah, man, just look forward to it. We got some great things coming up on the platform. We're going to be building and evolving. That's all. Peace and Black Power. Shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to everybody that came through with some donations as well for the Cash App. You know who you are. Shout out to your family. And we out of here.
You know how it is when Sonetta Studios come on. Sonetta Studios. Sonetta Studios. Love, open your third eye and download this. Sonetta Studios on. Now we gotta get it. On the couch alive on 125th. Worldwide, entertainment with scholarship. Black power conglomerate, that's how we pay homage. Show love to the ancestors, original man blessed it. So you can't test it, it's more than hood politics. Sonetta Studios will help you wake up your mind again. Know you got time to spend, been watching BS, so tune in to D-Best. Hardest working, don't need rest. Just trying to be next, push the revolution, push this information, help you with the solutions. The new millennium's Gil Noble is still rolling, and won't stop until the pineal glands are frozen. And know that this ain't his story, it's ours, but they'll know when they hear peace and black power. Black power.
Now look here. Oh, that's fun. Here you got Sonetta.